You're chatting if you want. All right.
Yes, Prince Andrew's publicist got a shit ton of shit dropped on him that they probably didn't know anything about until.
What time was it?
Well, apparently the interview was supposed to talk about all of his charitable work, and it sort of went off the rails.
Okay,
There's no sort of in this case, I believe.
Okay. Fine.
Okay, rather significantly went off the rails. Yes.
Okay. Well, how about Friday?
Okay. Appear
Well,
to
I've
be
got some
alive.
Okay.
Patches before my nose.
Not that day. Let's see, it looks like it's still the 11th of February. I believe I agree with that assertion.
Yes, we have our new fence.
Although it's probably getting very close to being the 12th.
Yeah.
It may actually
Well,
be the
we
12th,
gotta
and we just
do
haven't looked
the
over
garage.
yet.
It is because the club didn't close till after
Ah,
midnight.
Right.
Space that
Oh, that's right. You were at the
Oh,
club
garage.
doing things.
Right.
was in.
So yes, technically it's the 12th.
And I have
Seeing and being seen, as it were. Yes.
And I spent my time basically arranging with my staff to get some new equipment into the workshop.
Okay. See you out. Okay. You bet.
So how is Ralph? I haven't seen him for a very long time. We're running in different circles now.
Oh, he's doing well. He's got a job with
Okay.
he's a little harried and hassled.
He's what?
He's a little harried and hassled right now because Katie is in Egypt.
Oh, well, that sounds exciting for her, but tense for him because I'd be worried about her health. I mean, hasn't she still got the problems with the headaches and such?
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
she's staying with a friend
Okay.
who is a teacher. They were in grad school together.
But she's got someone looking out for her there.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
she's not there on her own.
Okay. That sounds significantly less scary. Not that I think it'll help Ralph any. I think he will still worry about it anyways, but
Yeah. She made arrangements for this before they got the foster baby that they're adopting.
oh, I didn't know he was adopting. Okay. Cool.
Yep, little girl. Now we have 6 granddaughters
All right.
and the grandson.
Okay.
Yes, and still the grandson.
Well, no one's watching us right now. I just ran an ad.
Okay. Well, in case you missed it, I chose my new stunt, Danger Sense.
Danger Sense. I was hearing that. Yes.
Okay. Which means I also know my next one.
That being Saw It Coming or whatever the one
Yes.
after Danger Sense is, yes.
Has everyone else decided on their stunt?
Network of contact.
Right.
Which reminds me.
I think Scott had them planned out for the next several.
Yeah, at least this one.
Okay.
This one is best that money can buy.
Which is how you've been playing it anyways.
Yeah.
I thought you already had that one.
No,
Okay.
We had long-term investment.
and long-term investment and money is no object, but didn't have best money can buy.
That was the name of the construction. The Acropolis Construction.
Okay.
No.
I don't need right there. This random sheet of paper.
Oh, just getting myself together.
Talking to himself.
Well, you're talking to yourself. You can be guaranteed an intelligent conversation.
I'm never quite sure I'm listening though.
Oh,
I'm fairly certain there are times I'm not listening to myself.
And I figured out how I distributed the photographs. Through my photography club.
I'm gonna listen to myself. I might get confused.
Someone just said hello on the stream.
my wife just appeared in the stream.
Hi, Laurel.
She has subscribed to my channel with Twitch Prime. They've subscribed for 6 months, currently on a 4-month streak.
Yay!
Wait. You weren't subscribed for 2 months? I'm outraged. Anyway, the note with her subscription said hello. Oh my God, you're late. I mean, you're here before Martin, but
I'm sick, that's why.
well, that's too bad.
Hopefully you're past the worst of it.
There you go.
Yeah, are you contagious? Apparently, Pat thinks you are.
Waiting for proof.
Didn't go to work today.
You know, you aren't required to come here if you're going to be getting us all sick.
Especially just before Thanksgiving.
Do you have plans for Black Friday?
Not nothing during the day that I know of. Why do you ask?
I'll let someone else take it from there.
We were looking at playing through a little bit more of the basic fantasy role playing, and Black Friday seemed like a good choice of dates.
Sure, afternoon or evening.
Either or both. We had not discussed exactly. We have not gotten as far as discussing that yet.
I could definitely spend some time in the afternoon. Evening could probably be arranged.
Yeah, they only got through one room of the dungeon.
Heh.
And some outdoor adventure.
Ah,
They're on their way to Slate Home.
what took so long
So-
with that one room?
Well, it's
Three
not so much-
magic items.
I was going to say it was not so much what took so long with that room as we got through that room and then decided we wanted to go straight back to Morgansforth.
In the spirit of what we're ahead for,
Mm.
for the moment.
The boat was a little low in the water on the way home.
Ah,
So, when last we played, we was
Outside of an alley.
outside of an alley. Well, you were outside of an alley. Everybody else was on their way home from the Cobalt Club, except for Paris. I think she had gotten a cab to where you were.
And was expressing some.
No.
No, everyone else was going.
Paris, Cornelia,
Okay.
and Simon
Yes.
We're going to the alley.
were going to the alley.
Okay.
And Rick decided to do so also, but I think he took a separate
Yeah, just not
took
everybody-
separate transportation.
Right.
And yeah, I believe that Jack was explaining how he got there so fast.
No, he was not. They asked him. He did not explain. He said something which didn't explain it.
Yes.
I run really fast.
which is true, but not quite relevant.
He does not run as fast as lightning. So, yeah. So he did not explain it.
He attempted to use some phrases that he hoped would
Yeah.
make them
Ask for
feel
an
better.
explanation.
Yeah. I mean, these guys are stupid, but
No, he wasn't explaining to the guys, was he? I thought he was explaining to.
well, they did
Paris.
ask him at one point.
Oh, yeah, but he basically ignored them.
Anyway,
He doesn't have to answer to them.
well, no, he really doesn't. They are taken out.
We now have in our possession 2 mooks.
And
you
the
don't
name.
own them; they're not slaves.
We have them available
Scarface
as
or something
potential
like that?
resources for whatever happens. Good they
I
might
suppose.
It sounds like a Dick Tracy film here, but
Batman. Or no, I guess Batman is Two-Face, not Scarface.
no, it's a Scarface.
Oh, okay.
You're right.
Dent is Two-Face, so who's Scarface?
The dummy.
Oh. The ventriloquist.
Yes.
Okay.
No, the dummy.
The dummy's name is Scarface, that's
Yes.
right.
And then it's the ventriloquist who's the dummy.
Well,
Yes.
According to Scarface, it is.
yes, that's what he says.
Just ask him.
Uh-huh.
That's what he calls him all the time.
Yes, it is.
And he insists that the mooks talk to him, not the dummy.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm. It's a very weird villain.
Batman seems to get more than his share of particularly
He's
weird.
in the
I think it was
hometown
Batman.
of Arkham
I think it
Asylum.
was-
What do you
yeah.
expect?
I think it was in the Batman the Animated Series where that character built an enormous robot that was just like the ventriloquist dummy. I mean, hello from a sports bar in St. Louis, says Titanium Taz. Hello!
Hello, Titanium Taz. We'll try to be interesting. No promises.
can't remember was if everybody was here or not. I think they
I
were.
was not.
I mean, if everybody got to the mouth of the alley.
I don't know where NG was. I missed a week.
Yeah, he wasn't here at all. So his character was not there. He did
Oh.
not go to the
Probably
Cobalt
back of
Club.
the century.
Yes.
Which
I mean, you don't tend to frequent the Cobalt Club unless somebody is with you. So
Mm-hmm.
Don't want in.
well,
The resources.
That's one of the reasons. Also not thrilled about the idea of running into Elizabeth hanging out with her friends.
yeah, because she is allowed in. Wow. So far, I've rolled a -3 and a -4 tonight.
And these are villains who are attacking us, right?
Well, they're... Anyway, so did you want to interview these guys more?
Yeah. Let's see now. Here. So let me see if I get this straight. It's this guy who has a big scar on his face. You don't know
Yes.
his name,
We call him Scarface.
and he
That's what
he said he's going to pay you money, or did he pay you money?
he gave us $5
Uh-huh.
up front and said another 15 if we get any information from him.
And he told you to go to this office, and he had the equipment was already there.
This afternoon, yes, he told us to
And the office was open. You just walked right in.
Yep.
So you just sat there clearing out the telescope.
Yep.
Did you have
And we and one of them takes out like a little notebook, and we made notes. It shows like the time that you got there, the time that you left there.
and your notebook?
Okay. Doesn't have a lot of information, and the handwriting is obviously done by someone who doesn't spend a lot of time writing by hand. It's barely legible.
I see. They must write by foot. Okay.
No.
I bet he doesn't spend all that much time typing either,
No.
which is the excuse some of us have.
But yeah, he looked through the telescope and told me what he saw, and then I wrote this stuff.
And how long are you supposed to be there tonight?
Till whenever you were out of sight again.
Did he give you alternate locations to go watch from?
No.
That means he has more goons like this around.
I don't know.
I'm talking to Simon here.
Oh. Okay.
He has people watching your brownstone. He has people watching Cornelius' residence,
Probably.
Ferris's residence, and probably your boat. And probably watching Annie's residence, she just doesn't know it. And probably watching the Century Club.
Annie's residence is the how would
No, that's her stately pleasure dome. It's not a residence.
okay.
She has a physical place on the ground. You have in the past.
She hasn't used it in a long time then.
Yeah, but you do have one though.
In which case, hopefully, this guy's wasting resources watching it.
Oh, he's paying 2 mooks. Wow, that's
Yeah.
gonna break the bank, isn't it?
Yes. The entire $20 that he was going to spend.
It's probably exciting because given where she comes from, she's probably rented it out to college students. They have something to watch, just not what they expect.
Yeah.
Wow.
I wasn't thinking of the money so much as no matter how many times somebody's got the million stumped, they don't have quite an unlimited supply of moves.
Actually, they do. They keep you use reinforcement stuff. take minions more than once.
Yeah. I was thinking, minions more than once, but forgetting some of the, forgetting reinforcements.
And how are you to deliver your report?
We were supposed to drop it off tomorrow morning at Mom's Diner down by the docks, the West Docks.
Let me write this down. Diner.
If
Yeah,
anybody
no
wants to
worries.
make an academics roll, that would be a good time.
Oh, that would be good. That's pretty good for me.
At which docks?
West
docks.
Docks.
I got a good also.
Wow, that's not very good for you.
Roll a -1.
Well,
It's a wash.
good is good enough. So Mom's Diner used to be called Salvatore's.
Ah.
It used to be an Italian place. Now it's just down-home American cooking.
Yeah.
I think we've been there.
And free budget only.
You
by
have.
wholesome type.
You wrecked the place.
Absolutely, yes.
You wrecked the place as I recall. Okay,
I-
they helped wreck it.
I
The hail of
prefer,
bullets that missed him.
I prefer to use the term remodeled.
Gave them an opportunity to evaporate. Oh, the rest of you must have some, well, no, you got people look at me in their laps and slowly get annoyed. Probably missing much of all.
So the notes are just about us?
Yeah.
Not just about Jack.
No, it's about Jack and Simon and who they were with. But the focus is Jack and Simon.
Funny how they're not interested in you.
Maybe they weren't. Maybe Scarface wasn't expecting him to be showing up at the Cobalt Club, and so didn't list him.
Well, I know when I'm going to find that out. We'll go and investigate the area around the docks around your boat.
Yeah, that's the same docks that he keeps his boat at, as a matter of fact.
That's easy walking distance from the Century
It
Club,
is.
isn't it?
Yes.
If somebody wants to call me, I'd be happy to show up.
So,
What do we do with these two?
Well, I mean, from your perspective, they are two of the lowest level criminals you've ever encountered, but they are criminals. They were probably trespassing where they were up in that office. I don't think you can get them arrested for looking at you with a telescope. Yeah, there's no anti-stalking laws right now, so.
Are there? What are the chances that they're already wanted in relation to something else?
low.
You could ask them.
Sure, ask them.
So, any warrants out for you guys?
One of them looks very scared for a moment. The other one says, there's no paper on me right now. And then the scared one says, well, so, see, this is how it is. I found a dog. And there was a sign posted, reward for dog. So I brought the dog to the place, and the police were there, and I ran away. And I guess they thought I stole the dog.
They Did you steal the dog?
I didn't steal the dog. I just found him. If you want to make an empathy roll right now, you can.
Well, that's pretty damn good. Maybe. That would be a fair.
Yeah, he doesn't think he stole the dog. Somebody else might think he stole the dog, but he doesn't think that he stole the dog.
Sorry, Paris. Oh, you're at it.
And he's taken out anyway, so it's not like he's going to be
Not
lying.
lying.
So there might be a warrant out for me on that.
For dog napping.
Yeah, dogs can be super valuable. I mean, some dogs are worth thousands of dollars.
No, some people pay thousands.
Well,
of dollars.
yes.
It's worth whatever someone's willing to pay.
All right.
Mm-hmm. So basically, if we turn them over to the police, they're going to spend a day or so in jail and then be out again because the police have got better things to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, and from your interviewing them, they don't sound like the kind of people that, you know, ruthless justice would demand anything of you. They are mooks. Absolutely the lowest of the possible level of street criminals.
Could turn them in at the zoo and say they look like monkeys to you.
Yes, I suppose you could do that. Yes, monkey see, monkey do, monkey look, just like you.
Probably some dolls.
Yes. Yeah, they are not super geniuses. I mean, they're not morons, but they're not criminal masterminds.
They were able to follow a plan.
Yes. Yes, some people would not be able to follow a plan.
Mm-hmm.
And
Complete with an escape route.
yes, absolutely. I mean,
I take it the escape route was provided already for you there?
it was the rope was,
Mm-hmm.
but he told us how to tie the knot, and he basically said that we needed to get out of there as fast as possible, and he gave us this as a way.
Whose vehicle did I just wreck?
Mine, says one of them.
Hmm.
Raises his hand. Don't know why he did that, but
Referring to being in school.
I'll pick up the torn out door and stick it inside the car.
okay, you destroyed the whole thing. That's not helping. I mean, the front end is completely gone.
What front end?
Yeah. You know, the one with the engine?
What
in it?
engine?
Yeah. So sticking the door back in
Worse.
is not helping.
Is that hurting?
The last time he said one engine, he took it, he taken it out of the car and buried it.
No, this time he just, what was it, a
Stick
round
it
kick?
Yeah.
Yeah, you kick to the front end, and the entire front end basically turned into shards of metal. The engine block shattered.
But no one saw him kick it.
No, that is true.
It's like it hit an invisible wall or something.
You know how hard you have to hit an engine block to shatter it? Very hard. And yet, Jack did that.
It's one of his aspects. Don't know my own strength.
Don't know my own strength. Yes. Sometimes I'm just really irritated by Twitch's software.
Well, what do you guys want to do?
Well,
You want to make it trip to
You
the
see what
police
it's showing
station.
for my stream? That's not what the stream is. It is not my banner that says Kevin is offline.
Right.
We are streaming right now, and yet this has not updated. And it says video preview, so it should be showing me a video preview. It is not.
Ask your audience if they are getting video.
I know they are because I have another tab open with the stream. I can look at that and go, hey, we are streaming.
Okay.
But the live dashboard video preview is not previewing.
Perhaps it's confused because of the stream.
Hello, Dane.
Okay.
I think we give them $200 for the car and kick them loose.
I say we throw in a dumpster and I bend the lid shut.
Split the difference.
True
throw
is
the
somewhere
car
in
the
between.
dumpster and just walk away.
Well, you don't want to hear my first idea.
We could, Jack could put the car in the dumpster,
Okay.
and I could give them $100 a piece and tell them to leave town and never come back.
That's not a bad idea.
All right. Reloading the page fixed it. I shouldn't have had to reload the page, though. Yes, I know. I know I'm streaming, Laurel. I can see it right here. But the page which I'm supposed to be looking at to see it wasn't showing it. Laurel says you are streaming. So
Okay.
verification.
Everybody walk inside the alley where the car is. No, everyone.
Okay. Oh, you weren't talking to the two mooks.
I'm talking to everyone.
Oh, everyone. Okay.
Everyone is everyone.
Everyone is everyone. All right.
So, open up the dumpster. Do a might roll.
Open a dumpster?
No, the
No.
next step.
Pick up the car. Wow, I roll a +4.
Okay.
You could pick up the car and stuff it in the
Yeah.
dumpster.
Drop it in the dumpster.
Especially considering you're not picking up the engine block. So, all right, you've crushed, in fact, the car and thrown it into the dumpster. You don't have to bend the lid anymore because you crushed it into a tiny ball.
So I'll go and I'll take off their handcuffs. He's going to give you $100 a piece. You leave New York City. You never come back.
Okay.
If you come back, I will do to you what I did to your car.
Okay.
But I'll do it really slow.
Oh. I don't think slow or fast either is worse or better, really.
Slow is worse.
I'm pretty sure I died, after a few seconds of that. No matter how slow you
6
went.
bones, you wouldn't believe how many of them can break and you still live.
I don't want to think about that.
Let's see if Simon has that piddly amount of $200.
Yeah, Simon has $200 on it.
You actually had to look.
Yeah, I did actually.
Oh.
I had to look up and see what good resources was. I seem to have spent some money this evening.
Mm-hmm. All right. So they take the $100 each, and they walk away.
Completely stupid.
No, they're not all. No, they are just maybe mediocre academics.
They might have burglary at average, maybe sleight of hand, maybe gambling.
Looking at them, you'd say they probably have athletics at average.
Well, you know what that means. There's a trouble with places people watching your residence at Paris on Long Island. And Simon's and Cornelia, and they're watching your boat, and they're watching the Century Club. And they're watching Andy's place, which she hasn't used in a while, so I don't think you're going to see much.
Well,
You can go clean them out.
Let's do that.
where should we start?
Well, do you want to how about we go to the Century Club and we see what's there. We can put Paris and Cornelia. Would you mind spending some time in the Century Club?
No.
Be safe, and we could go out and gather all these spies
Watchers. Yes.
without having to worry about your safety. And once we have everything clear, we can take it home. Is that agreeable?
Ready to that?
Yes. What are you doing?
Counting. You could maybe fit 5 people into a cab, but it'd be easier to take 2 cabs.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Now walk out back to the street. They're flagging down taxi. Taxi.
Okay. Yeah, there's one about 2 blocks away, which notices you and eventually shows up. I mean, it drives down the street and there it is.
Rick, why don't you get on the communication and contact Edgy?
Mm-hmm.
You can contact Annie. You know, it's too late for Annie. I don't mind waking Edgy up.
That's okay. Under the circumstances, Edgy is not
About
going
2
to lie.
o'clock in the morning.
Got enough duty.
I can put endurance and resolve, and this sounds like it might be.
But you initially could look for the ones spying on the Century Club,
Mm-hmm.
apprehend them. And remember, they're going to be very,
Fragile.
well, I would never,
Yes.
it goes without saying, but they're going to have an escape plan, obviously.
They will be one-box wonders.
Yeah.
They will be
At least
like,
that's what these guys were.
they'll be like greased lightning. So if you spot them, you may not want to go after them until we get there, or I should say, till I get there, because they'll probably see you coming and disappear like cockroaches.
Okay. Put that into a 3-beat squirt. First of all, Edgy, wake up. Wake up, Edgy.
Let's see. Would that be an alertness roll?
Yes.
Average. Does if my watch is someplace very near my pillow, is that likely to wake me?
No. I mean, the watch is not
Not that loud.
that loud. Yeah. It's made to be kind of subtle. Yeah.
And it picks up for you.
Yeah, I'm sure.
No, it's supposed to be subtle. It's not a problem.
Usually it's a feature.
Yes, you don't want it constantly being noticed in your coat pocket that somebody's yelling at you or whatever. It's
Where's that foghorn coming from?
yeah, no, that's not what it's supposed to be there for. It's supposed to. I mean, you're supposed to notice it, but you know, if you're asleep,
Flashing and playing the tune to God Save the Queen, which everybody keeps misidentifying as
I don't know. General March to Marionette might be good.
How about in the Hall of Monkey?
Okay, so. Well, anyways, we're in a taxi.
1812 overture.
Get
Yes.
to the Century Club.
Yep.
Jack is gonna stealth himself.
okay.
Godlight +3. You hear a voice saying, "Pay the cab, Simon."
I pay the cab.
Okie doke.
I am going to now investigate, and I'm going to pull out my binoculars. Give you a +1 on that. That's a good thing. That.
I have to re-roll my resources, don't I?
This is a different adventure, yeah.
Well, when we went to the Cobalt Club, I was great. Good.
Well, then that's the same adventure.
Okay.
So no, you don't have to.
As long as we're in the same adventure.
So
The rules in this game can be weird.
They are.
So I
I
got.
mean, there are times when just a scene change would be enough for me to request a reroll and resources, but that's like if a day-night boundary is gone. So,
I got a. The moment I have a awe-inspiring. So I have to take one extra time. Well, I'm scanning for something that's probably pretty far away. I will take. It's gonna take me a while, isn't it?
yeah, you're scanning a very large area. I mean, that telescope was like 2 miles away.
Well, I guess I'm gonna have to stick with awe-inspiring also.
Okay.
Awe-inspiring is pretty good.
Yes. You do not notice anybody like intently watching you. You don't see the flash of a telescope lens. You don't see someone with binoculars. Oh, please.
Sit down.
You are not being tortured, Oreo. Just because no one's throwing a ball for you at the moment.
Yeah, this is one of those cases where I have to wonder if I'm being foolish by not using the fake.
Thank you for the host, Dane.
We can offer.
Take more time.
Well, I think a lot of time. Hey, Rick, have you gotten Edgy out here yet?
Well, you only tried the one time, and he didn't
I
answer.
will,
Oh,
I
now
will
you're
go
at the-
in and knock on
Okay.
his door.
Yeah, make another awareness roll. This one's easier, obviously.
Well, that one I rolled a mediocre, but I'm guessing that.
That's good enough, yeah.
Hmm.
If you'd rolled poor, you would still be sleeping.
Glad I didn't roll any lower. So,
Yes.
Hello, Edgy.
something interesting?
Apparently, we're being watched, or at least, at the very least, Simon and Jack are being watched.
Okay.
There was a watcher at the Cobalt Club. Actually, two of them.
And you caught them and questioned them and
Yes.
didn't, let me guess, didn't find out much yet. Sure, give me a moment to throw my clothes on.
Well, some fellow with a big scar on his face is running the show.
Well, we can fix that. We can give you more scars on his face, or a lack of face, or whatever seems artistically appropriate.
Jack is out seeing if there's anybody, doing his best to figure out if anybody is watching the Century Club.
Let's go up to the roof, and I will, I will, as we're going up the stairs, just we'd have to have some signal over the, you use Morse code for this bit or something, so we could do longer messages if
Sure.
we had to.
Yeah.
Say, on the roof.
Yeah.
So, your watch goes off again.
Uh-huh.
Hey, Rick, you there?
Yo, Jack.
I can't spot anything. Why don't you have Angie take a look? Two eyes are better than one.
We're going to the roof.
And tell Edgy to remember his binoculars. And his seeing the dark goggles.
Goggles should be in my coat pocket. Let's see. Yep. Since they're on my equipment sheet and they'd be something I grab when I'm grabbing gear. Yeah, hanging from this strap right here. So, let's
And it could be a ways away, you know.
Yeah,
Because I
sure.
spotted two guys at 2 miles away, so.
I am going to I will tell tell Rick keep low and move slowly. Don't try to stick right by me. I am using a device I've got to see if I can do anything useful.
So why didn't you take another look and tag? I know where the good vantage points are because you drew up the map for the sniper at one time. Remember that?
Actually, no, but it's an excellent idea.
Well, actually, you updated the map.
So
Wow. About 3.
given it's nighttime, right?
Mm-hmm. It's about 2:30 in the morning.
This would be a great stealth roll plus anything I got for it being night and anything I got for knowing the territory well. I am going to simultaneously be going around looking for people and looking for people watching the place and trying not to be too noticeable about it. So investigation rolls. Tell me how many.
I'm just gonna make you make one.
Well,
Hopefully you'll
as
make it a
opposed
little
to-
better than that, because
Yeah.
that was not a good roll.
Yeah.
Dismal in terms of roll.
Well,
Actually, it would have been good, but that's lame under the circumstance.
Yeah.
And we don't have a dismal.
No.
The game's a
it was not a specific one. It was just a generic
That's better.
performance.
That's okay.
When you
let's
say someone made an
figure,
excellent roll, you're not talking about the pyramid.
I know.
Pardon me, the ladder.
Yes, the ladder.
Okay. Base of. Yeah, that would actually be godlike.
You are absolutely certain that there's nobody watching the
Interesting.
the Century Club right now.
Okay.
So possibly whoever set this up has the minimal wit that they don't want a whole bunch of Centurions noticing that the Century Club is being watched, because we're not the only observant people who hang out around.
Oh yeah, there are plenty of Centurions who would
React poorly.
have alertness rolls going off if the Century Club was being monitored.
Mm-hmm.
So, I think the next place to go around your boat.
Since it's nearby.
Yep. Also might give us more maneuvering room and more places to hide for those who don't, automatically have really frickin' impressive stealth.
Meet me in the building, maybe at the drugstore east of the Century Club in the corner. I'll hush everyone.
Sounds like a plan. You'll trot back downstairs, and this is like 1 block away, and we all know where it is. Yeah. Okay. Sure.
Everybody in the group knows the general vicinity very well. I mean, you've been staying at the Century Club for years.
Mm-hmm. This is not the first time we've had to.
Yeah, it's possible that you don't know, like, where all of the secret exits
No,
Come
not
on.
all of them.
But
Have not, spent a day or so doing a thorough investigation of the basement on down,
Mhm.
looking for secret exits.
Yeah.
Maybe a thing to do sometime when I'm bored.
Right.
So now everybody's with me. So I can
and yes, make another stealth roll to hush them all.
godlike +4.
Yeah.
Well, that's
nobody's gonna
ridiculous.
notice us.
You really have to get
Being
Annie to
noticed
invent,
by the
to invent,
rats.
to invent Hushagoon for you sometime.
Stealthy explosions.
Yes.
Doesn't matter. I don't break stealth when I attack anyways.
Yeah.
Well, it's a little hard to stealth an explosion.
And yes, if you're like grappling someone, it doesn't matter how stealthed you are; they know you're there. So
They may not be able to get a good look at it.
Yeah.
They might not know every detail.
but they have, I
of
mean,
what
if
it
you
is,
if you
but they
have
a
your
general
arm around the
idea.
windpipe, they know you're behind them, and your arm is right there. So I don't care what you roll on your stealth.
So once we get over to where his boat is, everybody start investigating. Everybody who's here.
Taking it in.
Yeah. Not asking Annie to investigate. She is presumably as asleep as Edgy was 10 or 15 minutes ago.
Right.
Well, that's only a wash, but
That's your roll.
Mm-hmm. I don't think I'm going to notice much. It's only a good roll.
Yeah. It's dark out. It's like 2:45 in the morning. So
so only Epic and Lusty Night Vision.
Don't say that.
Give me a bonus.
only epic.
I know. I'm being a little ironic.
I'm epically taking it in.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's 2 epics
Mm-hmm.
and a good. Good doesn't notice anything. I mean, there's a dock. There's a boat.
Probably
some
see
street
the open
lights off
sign
in the
on
distance.
the restaurant if it's open.
Are we within sight of Mom's diner?
Actually, you are, yeah.
Okay.
So
think
could
godlike
somebody in
+1.
Mom's diner be watching the mystery?
No, well, if there's anybody in there, it's closed right now.
Okay, godlike +1.
Okay. And what is it you're specifically looking for? You're looking for people watching
Watching his boat.
his boat. Yeah. So there is a ship 2 docks over where there's somebody like patrolling on the deck, like a night watchman sort of person,
Okay.
and they are occasionally glancing over at his boat.
Hmm.
It's a boat, right? It doesn't have any other
Right.
dinghies with it or anything.
Right.
So it's not a ship.
It's not a ship. It's,
Ships
it's
carry
a motor
boats.
yacht.
And Epic is good enough. You notice that as well.
Okay.
They're not intently watching,
Right.
but they do just look over at that boat like a little more often than they're looking at anything else.
Worth checking out.
Yeah, worth going aboard.
Okay.
We went over to this boat or ship.
Ship. It is a ship. Yes,
So-
it is. So its water line is. I mean, its deck is fairly far up. You'd have to. There's no gang. There's no whatever it's called. Gang-
Gangplank.
Gang.
Gangway
Gangway.
normally. Oh.
normally. Yeah,
Really?
there's no gangway, but there is a rope ladder that you can climb up to get to the deck level.
Well, we'll climb up the rope ladder.
Okay. Is the whole group going then? Okay.
go.
I mean, they're all hushed together. So.
Yeah.
All right. I mean, it just takes a couple of minutes. You're there, and yeah, you don't have to make an athletics roll to climb a rope ladder.
So I see this guy. He's patrolling back and forth.
Yes, he's definitely. I mean, you look at him. He looks like the guy who's supposed to be looking after this ship so that nobody climbs up and starts stealing stuff off the deck. And there's piles of crates and stuff on this deck.
Mm-hmm. So he's armed, right?
What do you mean by armed?
And that carries a sidearm.
He does not have a gun. He does have a wooden club
Okay.
about that long.
Okay. Is he holding it, or is it like?
It's in like a loop on his belt.
Okay.
He's the anchor watch.
You want me to do the honors?
If I
Thanks,
do
Dan.
anything.
Yeah, it's like a nightstick.
Yeah, he's got a nightstick. He's an anchor watch. He's there to just keep an eye on the boat during the night.
Absolutely, yes.
Down the ship.
On the ship.
On the ship, yeah.
Okay. Well, I'll walk up behind him.
Okay.
And I'll reach over out.
I assume everybody's going with you.
I will slip out his billy.
You're all within one zone of him, because if you weren't, you'd be out of hush. And none of you is going to get godlike +4 on your stealth.
No.
So as I'm pulling it out, I'm canceling my stealth because I want him to notice that I'm pulling it out.
Okay, so an entire group of people just appear behind him as you are pulling his nightstick.
Yeah.
Okay, he notices. He's like, "What the hell?"
Okay, I'm holding a nightstick. I calmly break it in half.
Okay.
Another
Intimidating.
+4.
On your
Okay, your target was good to break it in half. This is not as impressive
Grind
as
it
when
into
you're like
splinters.
bending steel bars or whatever, or crushing rocks in your fist. But yes, it is a demonstration of strength. It counts.
How many with that roll? How many toothpicks did it turn into?
It just broke very clean.
Oh, okay.
No, I mean, a normal person could break this over his knee. You know, if he tried hard enough. Well, not normal person. You'd have to have a strength of at least fair. But there are plenty of people who have a strength of fair.
Better circus.
But that just one snap and made it work easy.
Yeah, but yeah, nobody's going to be doing what you just did, which is snap.
So then I will reach out.
So it would click.
Yeah,
I will reach out. I'll be close at hand. So my gun's here.
okay, he's very confused right now.
And my hand's gonna go right about here. I'm not gonna squeeze. Just
Just holding on.
just holding on.
Okay, that's a fists roll.
That would be fantastic.
Yeah, he can't. Yeah, you've got him by the throat. That is the aspect I assume you were going for.
So
You're not doing any damage, but you put that on. Yeah.
I'm gonna say, I noticed that you are looking an awful lot at that bolt over there. Why is that?
You haven't done your intimidation roll yet.
Oh, that is my okay.
Well,
You didn't do the intimidation.
yeah, you need to do the might thing to be able to do the intimidation roll.
Okay. That would be fantastic.
Okay. Let's see. Can I roll?
Enough to not be taken out.
If I roll a +4,
Not immediately
It's a
taken
box.
Okay, well that's not a +4.
out.
No.
So I am taken out.
I roll lousy. Yeah, that happens every now and
So did he.
But yeah, only a plus. At +4, I just would have had one box left. Anyway, so what was the question?
then. You seem to be spinning an alpha. Why are you looking at that boat down there?
So, somebody I know asked me to.
Who is this somebody you know?
So the guy who does the dishwashing at Mom's Diner.
Ah,
The guy, so a dishwasher at a diner tells you to look at a boat and you go do it. Why is that?
I'm not going anywhere. He knew that I worked the night shift on this ship. I'm the night watch, and so he said he wanted me to do that, and he'd get me a free meal at Mom's Diner. I go there sometimes for meals.
Describe this person.
Okay. He describes him as sort of tall and thin, with reddish brown hair, pale complexion, big nose.
No distinguishing features, no tattoos, no scars.
No tattoos that I know of, no scars. I mean, it's not like I've seen him naked or anything. I don't know him that well.
You have a name to go with his face?
Yeah, his name's Ed.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah, he said he'd sneak me a meal out the back if I did this for him. I needed to let him know comings and goings and time and that kind of thing.
well, I suggest that you stop doing that.
Stop doing which part?
reporting. What
Okay.
you see. Because otherwise, I will do to your neck what I did to your night shift.
Okay. I mean, seemed harmless. I'm not hurting anybody, but okay.
I believe that Ed is a criminal.
I don't think so. I mean, he's just a dishwasher.
Yeah, but I believe that Mom's Diner is a front for criminals.
Well, it used to be, but then it got all busted up, and everybody who had been working there left. And somebody else bought it.
Oh well, maybe my information's old then. But it would be best if you just didn't report what you see anymore.
Okay, I really don't want my neck snapped. I mean, free food is free food, but yeah.
Simon,
Simon's gone invisible.
Wow, did
How
he make
much
a
do you want
stealth
me
roll?
to give the guy?
Probably cost a 2 or 3 meals.
$5?
give him 20.
Okay.
Okay, well, he seems happy with that.
Mhm.
He was just getting a free meal.
We'll go with that. Say, remember, if I find out you're reporting information to Ed or anyone else, we'll be back.
Okay.
We're not even
A
going to
cheap
bother them.
meal is under $1.
Mm-hmm.
And pretty much the only thing you can get at Mom's Diner is a cheap meal.
So that's like nearly
But
3
what's the
weeks.
normal
worth
meal
of
for
stale.
Simon with the best money he can buy?
Probably at least good.
Well, no, I was going to say on this scale, probably average. Average is under $50, so in the $40-50 range.
Oh, that's
So
yeah.
you,
That
you gave him about what you figured a meal would be.
Yes.
A lower end meal. At
A lower end
Lower-end
meal.
meal.
Well, I tried to compensate for the fact that he doesn't. That he's.
Yeah, Mom's Diner is not a place that Simon goes to.
Mom's Diner is not a place that Simon goes to eat.
Okay. Fine.
I may occasionally go there for other reasons.
You know it's number 1 on the rules for a happy life, don't you?
Eh?
Never eat at a place called Mom's.
Well, nobody told this guy that.
So how long do I have to study someone so I can get their features down?
I think it's
Yeah,
a
I think
half
it's
hour.
30 minutes. I think
Okay.
that's what we've said.
That would.
Okay. I'm gonna look at this guy. I'm gonna say I want you to stand still and don't
Okay.
move for at least half an hour.
No, you need to study him,
I am studying.
but
He doesn't have to stand.
he doesn't have to
completely
stand still. And there's the advantage that if he moves,
Mhm.
you can also be studying how he moves.
Okay.
So he goes back to walking the
Yeah.
deck.
You go back to walking
Well-
the deck. I'll just keep watching him then.
For movement, you really to get that down pat, you'd need disguise of the mark. To get a disguise so that you look just like him, that's just clever disguise. And of course, mimicry is what you need to sound exactly like him. Oh wait, master of disguise, not clever disguise. Yeah, master of disguise is what you need to look exactly like him. I should know all of these since my character has them.
Yeah, but your character has all of them, so remember where a particular
one?
ability
Yeah.
comes
Yeah.
from.
Yeah, you have all of them, so you know you can do all these things. You don't usually have to worry about which one is which.
Yeah.
Well, as soon as you're done studying him, I hope we check out Mom's and the possibly forlorn hope that there'd be addresses on file for employees somewhere.
It's 1924.
I know. I didn't think it was very likely, but it's something we can do
The
now.
whole restaurant lives at Wrigley's Field.
No. Everybody's paid in cash. Nobody
I know.
actually works there. I mean, according to official records, nobody works there.
Okay.
Okay, well, I
That's
have
helpful.
clever disguise and mimicry. What I do not have is master of disguise.
And that's the one to look like a specific individual.
Well, actually, deceit in mimicry, it says deceit can be used to convince people that you are someone you aren't, but only usually in a general sense. You can seem to be a cop, an author, or
But you can't look like a specific cop.
person without a lot of work.
With
and-
this, you can imitate the mannerisms and voice.
yeah, I can,
So that's what mimicry does for you.
so I can get the mannerisms and voice.
Clever disguise gives you, I can do a disguise that someone looking at me doesn't know I'm in disguise, unless they're, getting better than you on their investigation, and for some reason they
Alright,
already think
let's-
you're disguised, or whatever.
Or are looking for anything even slightly unusual in
Yeah.
a fairly paranoid sort of
Yeah,
way.
and they have to make an investigation roll, but that's what clever disguise is. Mimicry is voice and mannerisms, but master of disguise is pass himself off as nearly anyone. It also gives you the other stuff in here
Yeah, like you can.
that you can basically sort of disappear into an organization
And you can also
go, hey! John Doe does that a lot. It's kind of irritating for the game master because I'm off camera. Nobody knows where I am.
I thought that was Infiltrator.
No, that's that infiltrator is you may make a single investigation roll against a target of mediocre. Each shift gain can be used to use one of two things: gain useful but general piece of information about the area or group being infiltrated, or leave a clue, hint, or message for the rest of the player characters. That's something you use while you are disguised with Master of Disguise inside an organization.
No bar.
So, well, I'm still gonna observe this guy. He's actually probably be in stealth mode.
And we will disappear again?
Well, you guys can move off the ship.
Yep.
I'm just gonna watch this guy because it'd be nice maybe to have him report to the diner.
Well, I'm gonna head to the mystery.
Okie dokie.
You and Simon go to the mystery?
Check things, yeah.
Want somebody else to tag along?
Never hurt.
I got guys like +1
For observing, is that what?
no, for stealthing.
Okay.
Yes.
Not godlike +4 this time. I'm so disappointed.
Yeah, well,
Oh, what do we have here? What do we have here?
Anyway, so yes, no one sees you, no one hears you, no one smells you.
Yes. Yes. Yes, you're
yes,
wonderful.
I'm walking across the rice paper with leaving no trail.
Yeah. Unless they're using some mystical detection method that nobody sees, nobody knows you're there.
I think I went off with you two to the mystery.
Okay.
On a ship that has that guy for a night watchman, I do not suspect mystical detection methods.
No, that guy is, the guy who's accepting a meal to watch a boat.
Well, why not? He's watching the ship.
He's
on.
watching-
Yeah, I
Why
mean, he's
not
got to
pay
be
a
there
little-
anyway.
Yeah.
Why not pay a little attention to something docked a couple spaces over?
Honestly, that'd be really easy to convince someone of.
Mhm. He's probably fairly bored anyway. Didn't take much of a drive to.
It didn't. I mean,
Yeah. Yeah, just so. Anyway,
All right.
so
So you're
we're just,
back to the mystery.
yep. Everything seems normal.
You don't set a night watch,
No.
I'm assuming. So yeah, everybody's asleep on the boat.
Yep.
Nothing's out of place.
That's it. Let's see. Is there anything I would need? I think I've got everything.
I'm gonna check to see if someone put a bomb on the boat.
checking the outside. That's not fun work, but hey, if we're talking outside below the water line, which is the best place for a bomb.
Ask your buddy to do it.
Not true.
Cold water won't
Don't
affect
even-
him.
And
He's
nor,
kinda dead
nor
to
do
it.
I have to worry about when
He won't drown
waking him
either.
up. He doesn't sleep anymore.
Yeah, he won't drown,
Yes, he can't drown and he doesn't sleep.
and that cold water won't bother him.
Yeah.
All right. So are you sending him to
Yeah,
look at the
I-
underside of the boat?
Yep.
All right.
The whole outside of the whole
make an
below the
investigation
water
roll.
line. Wouldn't it be a mysteries roll to see how?
Oh,
well he
well,
investigates?
yeah.
'Cause,
Yes. Yes. For him, yes.
Yes.
is not wonderful because my mysteries is one lower, but still that is a superb.
Okay.
You're a very silly
He
child.
comes back after 4 minutes, I think, and says, "No, there's
Nothing.
no bombs.
Nothing
He should
out
probably
of
dry dock his boat and have the barnacles scraped off."
Yeah, but we are probably
that's
probably
good.
not dealing with someone clever and weird enough to make a bomb that looks like a barnacle but is strong enough to do any real damage.
Yeah, I don't think so.
And Epic taking it all in to check the boat itself. Well,
Nothing.
Okay.
Like I said,
Walk
nothing is out of place.
Yeah.
Okay, excellent.
It's your boat. You know where everything is supposed to be, and it's all there in the right spot.
Those strange little boxes or
No.
blocks that smell like sea. So
Absolutely not. No.
Okay. Well,
Leaking nitroglycerin.
yeah.
probably as soon as Jack's ready to go check out Simon's brownstone next, we won't. I mean, we can go in Mom's and take a look, but I sort of doubt we'll find out anything until someone's there in the morning.
Let's instead go down to the galley and make some eggs.
Wouldn't argue.
Yeah, free guy through.
I'm sure I've turned up and started making breakfast before.
So,
Yeah, I mean it's not an everyday occurrence, but yeah, I mean Centurions tend to have really weird hours.
We need a union.
half an hour later.
That's
so,
what the Century Club is.
Kind of.
So, anyways, half an hour later, your watch starts making noise again.
Okay. Check the watch. Oh.
So,
answer. Yes, Jack.
Soon after you start making
I'm at the bottom of the gangplank of your boat.
yeah, for his boat, it is a gangplank. It's just a plank that you walk up. But the for a ship, it's a gangway.
Means either wider or sturdier than one plank.
Yeah.
Or
So
both.
your social guy,
Yes.
what's his name?
Oh, George.
George comes into the galley. Did you want me to do that for you,
Is
boss?
George a better cook?
Not really.
No,
No, it's okay.
Okay.
Head on back to bed. Keep an eye out because apparently somebody's watching us.
Okay. There was somebody who was poking around the boat. I think it was a couple of days ago. Like he was peering in and trying to,
What did he look like?
oh, he's kind of tall and skinny,
reddish hair.
pale, reddish brown hair, big nose.
Yeah, okay.
Heard something about him before. We'll try and make sure he's not a problem.
I think I've seen him in the neighborhood before.
Yeah, I think he's the dishwasher at Mom's.
Oh, I didn't go to that place.
Just wait till you find out what I've got planned for George.
Send him to the jungle.
Oh no. That's a
Something
thing.
interesting in the way of upgrades.
Yeah. Overtime. I mean, he's already a great character, so.
So here you guys are ready. We'll head to the brownstone. Jackson.
Okay.
Hiding in shadow. On the gangplank.
You want some eggs?
I'm good.
Okay. Finish up breakfast. That's why we're not having bacon. It takes too long to cook.
Unfortunately, I
A
understand
faster
a
way to
lot.
cook it.
You have a fix for that.
Do we want Annie upgrading the galley on the mystery? That could be amusing.
That could be entertaining.
Well, Altman already upgraded your boat.
Yeah. Yes.
So did Annie. Fuel thing.
You increased distance. Hauptmann increased speed. So yeah.
All right, so where are we
Fun
headed?
having mad scientists and
Brownstone.
engineers for friends.
Heading for the brownstone.
Okay.
Have to get your cap for that. Look at the right side with me Stelton, you pay one less fare.
Usually they charge by the distance, not the head.
And we might need to get a block or two away from right on the waterfront to have a better chance of catching a cab. I'm not sure.
Yeah, the waterfront is not really a slam bang busy place in the night.
Well, it's only
About
about
4
2
in the
blocks to
morning.
the Century Club, and there's
Yeah.
always a
Always a
cab
cab.
waiting
At the
at
Century Club.
because they
Yeah.
know that late night fares are pretty much
Okay.
Pretty close to guaranteed.
expected. Yeah,
And they tend to tip well.
absolutely. Unless it's edgy.
I said tend to.
Where he struggles to even get cab fare.
I'm not the only person at the Century Club.
No, you are not. Not everybody has resources on their pyramid.
Yeah, I'm not even the only Centurion with resources at mediocre.
So
like
you
that.
go the 2 blocks. Hey, there's a cab. Who's going here?
I guess all of us.
All 4 of you. Okay.
Oh yeah, before departing, I mentioned to George that it wouldn't hurt to keep a sidearm handy.
Okay. I usually do. That whoever he was, I mean, he didn't cause any trouble. Freddie, told him to get lost.
He's good at that, Freddie. Okay.
All right. So, cab. I will assume that one of you has more than enough for cab fare.
Yeah.
Probably most of you have more than enough for cab fare. You are at the Brownstone.
Okay, it is time to hush everyone.
Cab
then-
shows up, the door opens, and no one gets out.
Well, somebody has
But-
to pay
but
the cab.
drops in the front seat.
Yeah, a bunch of money drops in the front seat.
I think at that point you would have to be the person who dropped the money.
Okay, that probably would be.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not really an attack, but it would be definitely something that could break stealth for somebody. So, yes, Jack would do it.
So yes, he picks up 3 people. They get to the destination, and there doesn't seem to be anyone in the cab, but some money drops out of nowhere and lands
you
on
hear
the front seat.
keep the change.
Okay.
Yeah, you gotta have some fun, you know.
Start one, Ruben Myth.
Yeah. Anyway, I mean, he drives off.
Okay, so start looking around for useful vantage points and people making useful vantage. Not that. Actually, that only cancels my 4% bonus. I'd still get.
How upscale is your neighborhood?
Pretty
Pretty.
upscale.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Can I tap my?
He's
can I
not in
tag I know
Harlem,
my
okay?
neighborhood?
What's that?
He's not in Harlem.
No.
Then I will make a legendary roll.
Yeah.
Legendary investigation roll.
I made a godlike.
Okie dokie.
And mine's fantastic if I get a bonus.
Godlike
for
plus
the
1.
die.
Binoculars.
Okay. What did you make?
Fantastic, assuming night vision goggles give me a +1.
So Jack is absolutely certain there's nobody watching the Brownstone. There's
Yeah.
nobody, out there watching the Brownstone.
Possibly too tricky to find useful vantage points in this neighborhood without being noticed.
Well, next place to go would be to Rockefeller residence or the Vanderbilt residence.
What, both of them have security forces?
Not especially.
No,
Okay.
and they wouldn't be able to maybe spot these guys, especially if they're far
Okay.
away.
Yeah, they'd be looking for someone for if they do have, they do have their own security and somebody watching for someone about to make trouble right up close.
Mm-hmm.
They wouldn't be doing counter surveillance.
It's kind of a toss up whether, well,
I could think of one other possibility worth checking.
sure.
Jack might possibly want to do this solo with the rest of us as very nearby backup. Is it possible that the location of his fancy engineering workshop is no longer quite as secret as he hopes it is?
He works really hard to keep
Okay.
that secret.
That would be something just, you know, ordinary or even somewhat out of the ordinary gangsters just wouldn't be able to find out. Okay. Just a thought. Probably.
Well, then either the Vanderbilt and Rockefeller are not under surveillance for the same reason that the Brownstone isn't.
Mm-hmm.
It's awful hard to hide a mook
Yeah,
in a neighborhood like this.
That's true.
And-
That is true, yes.
and those residences are more upscale than mine.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. Simon's
Or-
place in the city is modest by the standards of some of his friends.
Yes. Or
They did the sensible thing and got someone hired.
Well, that's a possibility.
might have done that.
There's lots of staff on the grounds.
At least for those two places.
Yeah.
But the other thing I was thinking of was it's possible that he's really after Jack.
Mm-hmm.
And watching at the Cobalt Club, he knows that at the Cobalt Club, Jack and I are likely to be showing up at the same time. We're moving in roughly the same circles around there, and that's
and
why I
Simon's
was there.
easier to find than
And Simon
Jack
can be
is.
much easier to find, which would be a point in the favor of them being watching the Vanderbilts
So if we're going
because if the target
Because
is
Jack
Jack,
is there
Mhm.
frequently.
yeah,
Well,
Yeah.
I still say
and
we
Paris
go,
is his girlfriend.
I still say we go to the
How
Rockefeller.
long have you left the
residence.
girls waiting?
Oh, an hour or so at this point. I assume that the girls are probably asleep.
That would be most likely. They don't
And
have any reason
it's
to
not
stay
like they're
awake.
sleeping in the room Edgy occupies,
Yeah.
or I occupy,
No, they.
Or Jack on.
or even Jack occupies.
Mhm.
Okay, so we either clear Cornelia's area first and then Paris's.
The reason I
Not
say
knowing
Cornelius first is it's less likely there'll be somebody there.
Right,
You just get out of the way.
exactly. That's what I was thinking. You were thinking.
Okay.
Or on the same wavelength there.
Okay.
Okay, so we're going to the Rockefeller residence?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okie dokie.
Need another cab, or is it nearby? Not especially.
Not especially.
I mean, it's within a mile.
We could walk.
You can walk.
I could drive.
You can drive. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you have your vehicle right there.
Yes.
Vehicles.
Sure. Might as well.
Well, probably a vehicle. I think the bulk of them are up the falls.
Okay.
But there's probably two of me here.
At least
So is your Cadillac here?
Yes.
Okay, well that can carry everybody.
Yes.
And it's black.
Uh-huh.
A little less
Good color
obvious.
Do you
choice.
want to wait your chauffeur, or shall I do the driving?
I'll do the driving.
All right, you do the driving.
I drive it average.
Yeah, you don't. I mean, I suppose if you roll the -4,
Yeah.
it's night. So
Mine too.
Okay, you can take it. Your
That's
car.
my car.
It's your car. Oops.
I think I'm going to.
wow.
Yes.
Did you back up and hit a post or something?
Well,
If I left it there, yes.
yeah, that would have been bad. That's enough to damage the vehicle.
It's the Browns. It's my brownstone.
Yeah, that's fine.
That would then be a mediocre drive roll.
Yeah, you drive, everything's fine. You're not driving especially fast, but it's nighttime,
Right.
so.
Roads aren't particularly busy, even
Yeah.
in New York at 4 o'clock.
All
in the
right,
morning.
you make it to the Rockefellers.
So we get out and I stealth everyone.
Okie dokie.
I'm like +2.
All right.
Then I start investigating. Okay, if I were spying on the front door of this place, where would I go?
Mine was legendary or awe-inspiring if night vision goggles are useful. Which
They are.
probably they are.
It's
night. and
pitch
there's-
black out.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
So,
right.
yeah,
It's
awe-inspiring.
February.
And probably start flying.
It's not especially warm, and yes, it is, dark a lot. So,
That would be fantastic.
okay, so you got
Legendary,
Legendary, fantastic,
awe-inspiring.
awe-inspiring.
Taking binoculars.
I can find the car.
I'm using the night vision goggles.
You
So
can
you got
barely
-2 on your roll.
Yeah. So only average.
If I could use both pieces of equipment
fair.
at once,
Fair.
that'd
Yes,
be
you can
godlike,
put you
in
can
fact.
you can put your binoculars up to your
Okay.
night vision goggles, and then it's what?
Godlike.
Okay, you are absolutely certain that no one is watching
Okay.
the Rockefeller residence.
Yeah, unless they can, unless they are like as
I mean, Jack
as stealthy
might-
as Jack.
Jack might be, but no,
Because
and that seems pretty unlikely that anybody else is
they
is
seem
that.
to be using low level types for surveillance so far. So I don't spot it.
Okay, neither do I. Well, I'm gonna go.
Yeah, nobody spots anybody. You are certain that no one is
Yeah.
watching.
Or if they're
Then I'll break stealth so we can get a cab. So the cab's not gonna stop
we
us.
Why?
still got
Still got his
Simon's car.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
He drove.
Yes, it's a Cadillac. It seats 6.
I'm still breaking stealth because otherwise there'll be a car drive with nobody in it.
Probably just as well.
It's New York. Who'd notice?
You obviously don't
Yeah,
remember the
Simon's driving. He can be outside the. I mean, he can be not hushed,
Yes.
and then everybody else can be hushed.
Okay, why don't we do that?
Okay.
You remember the movie Popper, right?
Yeah. Yeah. And the TV series.
Not to mention,
Yeah.
what's the one with the 6-foot tall invisible rabbit?
Harvey.
Harvey, yes. All right. So you're at the Vanderbilt residence.
I don't know if the question came up.
Okay.
I don't know why you're growling at me.
Is there actually growling going on over there?
Well, there's barking going on.
Okay, a little better.
What, Abby?
Did you make your drive roll to get to the Vanderbilt residence? I'm assuming you're the one driving again.
Yes.
That's fine.
That's
I
yes.
mean,
That's a fair driving roll.
yeah.
So,
You don't have to drive so slow.
Right.
yeah, a little better time.
And then we all do investigation.
Mm-hmm.
Yup. And godlike again. I used a fate point because I didn't like the -1.
Okay.
Probably
Inspiring.
waste of a fake
And
point.
legendary.
What the heck?
I feel
And
puny
you're there
at-
too?
I feel kind of puny at an epic.
Okay.
Yeah, but that's
That's
Nobody
why
spots
they're-
anybody
Yeah.
watching the Vanderbilt residence. You are absolutely certain
Oh, yeah.
that there's nobody watching the Vanderbilt residence.
Well, this is good.
although the small the cloud to the silver lining is it doesn't give us anybody else to question until Mom's Diner opens.
That's fine. I gotta get back to the Century Club and get some sleep.
Mom's Diner opens at 6.
What time is it?
5:30.
No,
I was gonna say probably in the 4 to 4:30 range.
about 4:30. Yeah.
An hour and a half to sleep.
Get a quick nap. Why not?
If Mom's Diner opens at 6.
We'd be
So
people at
there will be
5:30.
people there before 6.
Yes.
Yeah, you gotta turn on the cooktop.
They're probably wandering in about half an hour.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I could say they probably also, if they do any baking on premises.
Mhm.
Mom's Diner is not the kind of place that does on-premises baking.
Yeah.
No
yeah.
Parker House rolls there.
They probably have a deal with the cheapest bakery close enough to be convenient for day old.
Yeah.
Nobody's gonna know once you toast it. At least that's the theory. Still, we could we could go in, check out what there is to check out, and be there unobserved when people come in to open if we feel like it.
Yeah, I guess we could stay here and watch. We still have to stealth everyone. Again.
Are we then driving to Mom's?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, drive to
We're driving to the Century Club.
And then
Sure.
walking to Mom's.
Yeah,
and then
since
walking to
it's-
Mom's.
It's 2 blocks.
Yeah,
Okay.
And the caddy would
be noticeable in that.
stick out like a sore thumb in this
neighborhood,
in that neighborhood.
yes.
The Century Club, I can park it off the alley.
Sure.
a Ford without rust sticks out in this neighborhood. That's not fair. That's not fair. This is a dock, not a slump.
Or truck without rust, nobody noticed at all. Whatever their nice touring car is this
Yeah.
year would stand out a bit.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Or Cadillac. Yeah, all
Did
of
you do
those.
your drive roll?
It's not food.
And it's not a toy.
Well, it's
Not
not,
a
it's
dog
not a toy.
toy.
Gosh. No, I can do better than that.
You don't have to do a reroll. You know?
Yeah, that's true. If I take the +2, I'm at average. Oh yeah, I'll just take the +2 and I'm at average.
Nothing's riding on this ride anyway.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, as long as he doesn't roll a -3 or -4, you're fine. -3, you start taking damage to the car. -4, severe damage to the car.
And maybe to us too.
Well,
I mean, you guys are tough enough.
We're
that
tough
I don't
enough.
think you have to worry about it. Anyway, so you are at the Century Club and you walk the 2 blocks to Mom's Diner. Are we entering Mom's Diner?
Are we stealthing?
Yeah.
So yeah, watch from outside or check out the inside.
I like +2.
That's your stealth goal, I assume.
Yeah.
I think inside. Yeah, I think.
It'd be easy to check it out inside if no one's there.
Yeah. And if we could arrange it, which God only knows whether or not we can. There's probably a back door into the kitchen.
The alley.
And we would kind of like to
Yes.
keep an eye on that.
Yes, there is.
So go in, figure the layout of the place and decide exactly how we want to position ourselves.
So this is a two-story building, if everyone remembers. The ground floor is a restaurant. The second floor used to be offices, but you don't know what's up there now.
Could well still be offices, but offices of what? Let's go find out. You want to do the honors, Jack, or shall I open this one?
You can open it.
Pause for a moment to clear my thoughts.
Come here.
Come here. I suspect that a good burglary roll will suffice.
Yes. Your target was mediocre.
So,
Edgy, might want to check for an alarm before you open the door.
He's already made his burglary roll.
well,
I guess we'll find out then.
So, this is one of those bump the door and it unlocks
Yeah.
things.
with that cheap a lock, I sort of doubt they bothered with a burglar alarm.
Yeah, this
but
is a
let's
mediocre
look
lock.
anyway.
This is a mediocre lock. But
Oh.
yes, you've unlocked it, so, if there was an alarm on the lock,
Right.
it's going
But
off right now.
investigating the door and its immediate vicinity for alarms, traps, anything interesting, and that would be an awe-inspiring for sight, also hearing and touch.
There's no way there's an alarm on this
Excellent.
door.
Oh, let's go.
You know, feet pinned together.
Okie dokie, this is the back door, right?
Yeah.
All right, you're in the kitchen.
Is there anyone else in the kitchen at this point?
There is not.
Okay.
Is there a list of employees, like a roster that one of them says Ed on?
No.
I expect they don't
A work schedule?
Nope.
probably don't do much in the way of paperwork, which is how you'd want it if at least half your employees were shady types who are only sometimes working at this restaurant.
Or you're running a restaurant that's on a really tight shoestring and you don't care if they don't come back because it just means you don't have to pay them.
Could be some of both, even. But I suspect we check the whole place and find not much in the way of paperwork other than menus and maybe a little paper money left in the cash register.
So we are searching the whole place? Is that what's happening?
Sure.
Yeah, might
Yeah.
as well.
It's
Just
the
in
first
case
level.
there's anything
Okay.
interesting.
Make 4 investigation rolls.
Each of us, or one apiece?
Well, each of you.
Uh,
Okay. If
Are
you're
you
splitting up
splitting
the areas, then it's 1 each. If you're all 4 investigating the whole place, it's 4.
We can each take a section of it, assuming everybody's. That was legendary for what I've got focus sense on.
I got an on-fire in the area I did.
I got on spring in the area I did.
Okay.
Superb. No, it's. Oh, I may as well. It was better when I had them on facing pages. Always do what the locals do. It's now epic.
And be sneaky and check things out carefully.
Okay, so this is a not very good restaurant. There is a case of bottles of bathtub gin in the kitchen, one of which is half full. There is hidden. I mean, hidden is probably too much. It's in a small metal box. There's a handgun stuck underneath a cabinet. Yeah, I mean, it's easily found. And that's in the kitchen as well. Other than that, there doesn't seem to be. I mean, they must not. They must not do any sort of paperwork here. Like, there's no receipt pads. There's there's
No order slips.
no order slips.
Do they, did they,
There is a sort of there's a counter, like a lunch counter, and behind that there's a box, another metal box, and there's like miscellaneous cash and change in it.
okay,
It's a cash box.
about how much?
There's about $24.
Sure. So they,
And there's no office per se.
Not on the first floor, no.
Okay.
You guys said you were just doing the first floor. You
Yep.
don't go upstairs.
Yeah.
There is a stairway that goes upstairs.
if there's anything interesting in this building, it's upstairs.
Yeah, probably.
So they don't have a cash register, just a cash
Just
box.
a cash
and
box.
No evidence of any paper records involving the money at all.
So,
Nothing.
Okay.
as we go upstairs, I'm going to be looking for, some kind of an alarm on the
Okay.
stairs. So I did get,
Tripwire or
There's
gimmick
nothing.
staff is most likely,
But
yeah.
you get up to the top of the stairs and there's a door.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
And I bet it has a better lock than the ground floor.
Well, I'll see if there's any kind of an alarm on it. That would be awe-inspiring.
There is not.
There's a lot.
Let's see. That would be a great burglary roll if I.
Okay, you got 2 shifts on the lock.
Okay.
So not the quarter second that it was on the
No.
on the exterior lock.
So mediocre locks on the ground floor, fair on this door. Yes, that's.
Yeah, you're not
nothing
impressed with the
different.
lock, really, and it is kind of a sturdy door. I mean,
Mhm.
it's a thick wooden door, but yeah.
Like they're slightly more worried about someone trying to just bust it down than
Mhm.
they are somebody with enough burglary to use.
I think
the lock.
either way is probably the same amount of difficulty. You'd be able to punch through this door.
Ah,
Not you, Martin. You,
Oh,
your character.
yes. with my might at mediocre even.
You have
okay.
fists at
Oh,
average,
true.
so
Yes.
that's what
good
you would be
point.
using for your punching.
Alright, well. Let's go check out the second floor.
Okay,
For something
what do
more.
we
This
find?
one I think we want to do all together.
Mhm.
What's really funny is that
Alright.
song, you can do a mashup of that and Everything Is Awesome from the Lego movie, and they sound like they're the same song.
All right, so people who are
Yes.
who are investigating the second floor, please make investigation rolls.
Legendary.
Epic.
Legendary also.
So, most of this actually appears to be disused. Like there's even some damage from when Jack was here the last time that hasn't been repaired. There is one door to what you assume is an office that also is locked.
Okay, well, let's see if we see anything. Any kind of
Yeah,
alarm
this
stuff
door
we
we
can think.
check out very carefully.
Okay, that would be that. So that would be epic.
for checking it out for traps and stuff. There is an alarm on this door.
I'll use engineering to remove the alarm. I said I would use engineering to remove the alarm. I did not roll especially well.
Well,
I
okay.
guess I'm gonna have to take some time. I'll take 2 shifts of time.
Okie dokie. I don't think you need to, but what is your role then?
My role right now is fair.
Oh, so yes, at fair, you're fine. That's the level of the alarm. It's a fair alarm. So, yes, you're taking a full 15 seconds to disarm the alarm, but that's what you need. I mean, unless you're
Okay.
trying to do it,
No,
without leaving a trace
no,
or something
no.
like that. I know sometimes you do that for picking locks.
I'll go 1 extra shift so I don't leave a trace.
Okay.
We can wait patiently for that. Yeah.
All right.
Won't take that.
All right, and there's a lock on the door.
Yeah, you know, probably a. In fact, just out of curiosity, I'm going to let that stand. That is another good burglary roll.
That's good enough. You got a shift on the lock.
Okay.
So,
So no better than the door at the top of the stairs, but they did have an alarm on it.
yes.
This office has some slight hope of being interesting.
So this is an office, but I mean, there's a desk and a chair behind the desk and a couple of office chairs in front of the desk. And there are various, papers on the desk.
Mm-hmm.
There's no filing cabinets.
Is there a phone in here? Just out of curiosity.
There is not.
Interesting.
Does the desk have any drawers?
Yes, it does. Going through the desk drawers, there's more papers. There's like a ledger in there. So you finally found something that's written down, but it seems to just be it's a very general ledger. It's not it's
Like daily intake.
yeah, it's payroll, expense, income on a daily basis.
And the payroll is always just aggregate.
It's
no
always an
names,
aggregate payroll, yes.
no names.
The income is a day's take.
Yeah.
The payroll is how much we paid out that day, and the
Also, in,
expenses is how
also
much
in
we.
one of the drawers, there's another cash box. This one actually has about $200 in various like crumpled,
Yeah,
you know,
it's not.
fives, tens,
It's
20s.
not really tidy. It's not carefully sorted, but there's a lot more money than.
Yeah,
just one
there's a
balance.
bundle of money in here. There's no change.
Oh, okay.
So, looking at the paper, various bits of paper. What are they?
There's like invoices for food that they purchase from various places. There's invoices from the place that they buy their coal from. There's an invoice from a restaurant supply company that they must have bought a bunch of dishes from recently. There's
When they break enough.
yeah.
Yeah.
There's a note. 20% next month. Remember, that's all it says. It's sort of on the top of it's like taped.
On the top of a stack. Or,
No, it's
Oh.
actually on top of the desk.
Ah.
There's nothing on top of it,
Ah.
and it's taped to the desk.
Ah,
Like if you were to look over, you'd see that note.
uh-huh. So somebody wants to make sure of keeping track of that fact, but it doesn't tell us much out of context.
The handwriting on the note and the ledger, are they the same?
Yes.
Okay.
Good thought.
So many pictures hanging up in here.
Anything hanging on the wall, even.
No.
I even like a picture on the desk of someone's wife and kids or something.
Nope.
Is there a safe?
No.
Guess I'll look for a safe.
Okay. I mean, you guys already investigated this room.
That's good because I rolled terrible. Well, I didn't roll terrible, but I've rolled not enough to spot a safe.
So, yeah, because you looked in the other rooms and went, okay, there's nothing. I mean,
No,
nobody
no.
is in those rooms.
Yeah.
There's no doors to them even. But this room you investigated and didn't
So
find
they
a
took
safe
either-
or a hidden door or anything like that.
So they took either the least damaged or the most conveniently located office and fixed that one up
Yep.
to use and just
Yep.
kind of ignored the rest.
I mean, there's a boarded up window in one of the other rooms.
Yeah, because they got pretty nippy if you just left it.
Yeah. But other than that, they didn't apparently repair any of the damage.
Well.
Except to this room. There are signatures on a bunch of the documents.
Oh.
But wow, is it an illegible signature? It looks like
Cat scratches are more legible. They have a future in writing
So-
prescriptions.
Scribble J scrawl.
Okay.
yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
So it's like a doctor did it.
yeah. And maybe that's a capital J. Maybe, but could be an L. I mean, it's, and the rest of it is just, is
A line.
Yeah.
is like a wavy line. And there are other signatures, but they all seem to be from like where the person who they're receiving goods from.
Right.
But apparently the person who works here in the office, that's their signature. And I've seen signatures like that before. It's not that somebody's trying to be cute or anything, that's just their signature.
Yep. Usually on the case of somebody who's been signing their name for a long time and doesn't really care if J random person is able to read it.
Let's see, I'm trying to think of what else might be in there.
There'd be a ceiling fixture, I'd guess. Otherwise, you couldn't work at night.
Yes, there's a light,
Is
a
right?
ceiling
Is
light.
It just just a bulb hanging down or a little?
No,
bit of
there's a kind of, you see that white
yeah.
part there.
Mhm.
There's like that over it. It's not a ceiling fan, but there's a white sort of
Yeah.
glass thing,
Diffuser.
a diffuser. Yes. It doesn't look especially expensive. It smells a little weird in here, like the person who works in here might not bathe as often as you guys do. Like he's probably one of those people who takes a bath on Sunday.
Well, disappointing. No reports of.
This seems to be like a place where they don't want to leave a paper trail. I mean, even the ledger is, as I said, really general. Like you can't really get much information off of it.
Well,
Assuming we would have a ballpark guesstimate of how sort of pay some somebody cooking or washing dishes or whatever or at a place like this would probably get what's an educated guess as to how many employees just from their total payroll. Yeah, I know. What things cost table 209, I think.
Yes, it is.
Okay. Yeah.
So they, you would guess that they have 1, 2, 3 employees total.
So somebody cooking, somebody on the counter, somebody washing dishes most of the time.
Mm-hmm.
The guy who's washing dishes might also bus them from up front.
Mm-hmm.
Probably also buses them.
Yeah.
Was there just a counter up front, or was it counter and
No,
tables?
it's a counter and tables.
Yeah.
So there is probably table service as well.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe sometimes 4 people.
Well, nothing incriminating here.
Yeah.
Nothing to tell us what's going on.
Nothing incriminating.
Well,
but a
it's kind of
suspicious
weird
lack
how
of
limited the
evidence.
information that's recorded here is.
Mhm.
That's a little strange. But yeah, it's. I mean, you probably have frequented businesses like this before, where they just don't want anybody poking their nose in and finding out, hey, we only pay these guys 12 cents an hour or whatever,
Well, one of the things that is going to be true,
We need Annie
given
here.
the lack of paper trail, if the place is open, the boss is probably here.
That's true.
We need Annie here to put a monitoring device in this office.
Yep.
And we need one downstairs in the kitchen so we can see if they have a reddish hair and a big nose shows up.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the other thing is, like I said, the boss is going to be here fairly soon.
I guess we can just wait for him.
Yeah.
Apart from us, who do you think unlocks the place?
Yeah.
So just to remind you about that, you unlocked the door, but you never, the back door, but you never locked it again.
Oh, we should probably go do that real quick.
Okay.
Or so somebody notices.
Sounds good to me. Are we locking these 2 doors too?
Yeah, we're gonna go wait in the office here.
Okay. So you lock the back door, you come back upstairs, you lock the door from the stairway to the second floor, and
And activate the alarm again.
that's
That's
on the office door. So you lock the office door and reactivate the alarm.
Mm-hmm.
And then Ben just leaning his
Start
feet
up
against
a
the
card of
wall and
games.
wait for
A game of cards.
Yeah, I don't know what you guys are doing, but whatever. You pass the time. It's not a lot of time. You pass the time because you were spending, time investigating and stuff like that. All right. So at about 5:30, you hear somebody come in the back door. They use a key.
Be very, very quiet.
Do you think it's 11?
You're pretty positive it's not a rabbit of any sort. About 10 minutes later, you hear somebody else come in the back door. Then you hear them coming up the stairs.
I'm hushing us.
Okie dokie.
True, we became unhushed when we split up to investigate the first floor.
Got what?
Okay. Shuma's watching us again. Hi, Shuma. And remember, she does not get to drive the sub or the boat. All right. The person who walked up the stairs unlocks the door from the stairs to the second floor, and you know, comes to the office door. You hear like a click. That must be them disarming the alarm, and then they unlock the door, and come in. It's not Ed. Because it is not a tall, skinny person with a big nose and reddish brown hair. It is, you know, he's average height, sort of heavy set. Yeah, this is definitely the person who uses this office because you can smell him. And he doesn't look like he's shaved this morning. Kind of grayish hair.
No
salt,
scars.
Salt and pepper, no scars.
I guess mid-level crook of some sort who probably thinks he's fairly tough.
I suspect
He might have might at average and fists at average. So yeah, he thinks he's hot stuff. But also he's probably in his 40s.
I was going to say he's the guy that owes 20% of his take this month to Scarface. At least I assume he owes it to Scarface.
That would be likely, or one of Scarface's trusted lieutenants.
Which, you know, that would be the same as owing it to Scarface. It's just a matter of
right.
who picks it up.
Right. But I mean, he might not be acquainted with the boss, just the bag man. Still, we might actually be within 2 levels of the guy we're looking for.
So he comes in, he sits down, he shuffles some papers around. He goes into the drawer that has the cash box. He opens the cash box. He gets out some money, closes the cash box, and closes the drawer. So yeah, he put the cash box in the drawer, closed the drawer. Gets up and leaves the office and goes back downstairs.
Might as well tiptoe after him. Probably keeping track of him is probably more interesting and useful than staying here.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Goes down behind the counter and puts the money in the cash box. He does seem to be paying attention. The person who apparently came in before him is also not tall, thin, with a big nose. But he does have like a white cloth cap on and an apron. He looks like he must be the cook because he's getting stuff ready. He's getting the oven
He's doing
fired
various
up.
food prep stuff.
Yeah. He's peeling vegetables. He's cutting stuff. It's morning food prep.
Yep. Probably especially peeling potatoes.
Yeah. The guy who came downstairs goes back upstairs. He goes back through the door into the office again. Excuse me. He kind of goes through a pile of papers, which, because you went through it, you know it's invoices that are, some of which are past due, but some of which are due in the future, and he kind of sorts out 2 of them. He gets out his ledger and he writes down amounts and pulls out some cash and puts it into 2 envelopes. It's not much cash, but it's it's enough to pay these 2 invoices. And then Steve falls asleep. I'm sorry that you're not feeling well, Steve.
He's not asleep. He's just conserving his energy.
All right. Brett's asleep.
Close.
So he goes down and does he go down and leave, or is
He puts those 2 envelopes into his back pocket, and then goes. He leaves the office. I assume you guys leave the office
Yes.
as well. But then he locks the door again and resets the alarm.
Okay.
He goes out the door onto the stairs and closes and locks that door. And then he heads back downstairs.
We'll follow him.
All right. He goes behind the counter. It's about 10 minutes till the place opens. But he goes to the door with the closed open sign, flips it over so now it says open again. He pulls up the shade on the door. He unlocks that. This is the front door. He unlocks that door. He goes. There's a stool behind the counter, and he goes and sits at it.
What are they putting the envelopes that are in his back pocket?
cash?
Money.
Yeah.
Like check.
Appropriate to pay the 2 oldest invoices.
Both of which are overdue.
Right.
There are other overdue invoices. Apparently, he doesn't care about that.
Like I said, my assumption is he's either pulled out the money to pay for the 2 oldest ones, or he put out the money to keep these 2 vendors that are the ones that are most critical to keeping his business running.
If you want to make, if any of you want to make an academics roll, you can probably try and remember.
Sure.
Because you were watching him, but
That's great.
that's definitely good enough.
That's only fair.
Okay, that's not good enough.
I got fair.
So you remember, it's not the 2 oldest invoices, but it is the ones that had like nasty notes written on them, like if pay up or else, basically kinds of notes. Like it's past due enough, and these people actually care about it enough that they're to the threatening him point.
So yes, he will pay the 2 bills that would cause him the most trouble if they're not paid, and ignore all the rest a little longer.
Yeah.
He's like editors of pulp magazines,
Kind of like that, yeah.
where you were, where as the joke had it, you were payable upon lawsuit.
I don't think it's probably
Except
not that they're
probably
going to
would
sue
be
him.
Lawsuit would be,
It would be small claims court for any of these
Well, yes.
these invoices.
Yeah, but it's the equivalent of payable on lawsuit,
Yeah,
or payable upon threat of lawsuit.
yeah. I
I'm
mean,
tempted to slip the envelopes out of his back pocket.
that would be a sleight of hand roll if you want to do it. I don't think this guy's going to notice unless you rolled really bad.
I'm not certain if that's better or worse than what I want to do.
What you want to do.
Rite of magic upstairs.
Yeah. What they have.
Carpentry.
What, repair the rest of the place just for the heck of it?
Yes!
How you react?
Okay. A little weird, but all right. I mean, it's not like he goes into those other rooms very often, but all right.
But I mean, this would probably also put doors on the ones that are missing
Oh, that would be
doors.
very strange. All right, so a few
I
minutes
didn't notice.
after he opens up for the day, somebody comes in and sits down at the counter, and the guy behind the counter says the usual, and the guy says yes. And so
He doesn't have a scar on his face, does he?
he does not, no.
Is there a chalkboard that has the menu on it, or is there just no menu?
There is no menu.
Okay.
I mean, there's no written menu anywhere in the restaurant. You guys searched the whole place. There's no menu.
Oh.
So then he yells very loudly, "The usual for Joe!" And you hear like eggs sizzling, bacon sizzling in the kitchen. and eventually you smell it.
Yes.
I mean, and yeah, not much longer after that, the cook comes out with a plate, and lays it down, and Joe puts down 50 cents, and the guy takes it and puts it in his cash box.
Mm-hmm.
And the person walking out, he just happened to have a tall, thin guy with reddish brown hair and a big nose.
No, this is the
It's
the cook.
Yeah.
He said the cook walked out.
Yeah.
Not the dishwasher. Okay.
Dishwasher apparently has not yet shown up.
Yeah, you would have heard if he'd come in the back door, or seen if he'd come in the front door, or whatever. So he's not here yet.
Of course, there's probably not much.
There were
business
no
for
there were
him.
no dirty dishes when you
Yep.
got here,
So
and now
probably
there's
not-
going to be like a fork and a plate.
I was gonna say there's probably not much not much business for the dishwasher for until they've been going for an hour or 2 or 3.
Yeah, the place isn't even officially open yet.
Mhm.
Some guy apparently just shows up before they're officially open,
Mm-hmm.
and is a regular.
Mm-hmm.
So it's okay, I guess.
But there's also the possibility that opening time is flexible, and the guy.
I mean, it's not like there's a law that they have to open right when
Yes.
the sign in the window says.
Mm-hmm. And customer could also be, friend of the boss's boss or something. like that.
So anyway,
He could
yeah.
also have an apartment. He could also have an apartment up there,
Mm.
and can see when the sign flips.
Yeah. So it's 2 eggs over easy, 2 slices of bacon, and a piece of toast. And a cup of coffee is what the usual for Joe is, apparently. He eats it fairly quickly and gets up and leaves. So no tips for the guy behind the counter, I guess, because he doesn't leave one.
Might as well see how long it is before anybody else shows up.
Yeah, it's like about opening time now, and a couple more people come in. They both sit down at the counter, and the guy says to each of them, the usual. They both say, yeah. The usual for Jim, the usual for Bill.
Is it the same usual, or are they each getting something different? Oh,
We'll know in a couple
yeah.
of minutes.
So yeah, eggs and actually, it doesn't sound like bacon this time. It sounds like somebody's cooking sausage. It's a slightly different sizzle sound, and a slightly different smell as well. But yeah, the cook comes back out again, and he picks up the dirty dish and fork and lays down a plate. Goes back to the kitchen, and a few seconds later comes out with another plate. And Jim and Bill have their food. Yeah, both of them get sausage instead of bacon, and one of them gets 3 eggs instead of 2. But other than that, they both get toast, and they both get coffee. These guys seem to be not eating quite as. I mean, Joe like wolfed his food down, like he was in a hurry, like he had to be somewhere at 6 in the morning. These guys don't seem to be that urgent. I mean, it's like, taking their time, sipping their coffee slowly, etc.
Not talking about anything.
No conversation at all. Like, they don't care about each other. They don't care about this guy behind the counter. They don't care about the cook who brought their food out.
For each other, it might be more. Each one's pretty much heard what the other one has to say.
And
barring
they,
out
and
the word,
so they both also well, actually, one of them pays 50 cents. One of them pays 54 cents. So he gets out 4 pennies. He's got exact change, not just the 2 quarters. 2 quarters, 4 pennies, and he counts it out. And
Presumably that's the guy with the extra egg.
yeah, that's the guy with the extra egg. So, and they eat their food in silence. There's nobody here who seems to be interested in having a conversation. Before they're both done, another guy comes in, and sits down at the counter. The only difference between him and these other 2 people is he's actually got a newspaper, which he's looking at. And the guy behind the counter says, "The usual?" So he doesn't say yes, which the other people did. He just grunts.
But I'm
Like he's in a not good mood. You're apparently he's not happy about being up at 10 past 6 in the morning.
Better, he's one of those guys that's a grump until they got some food in him.
Yeah. So this guy actually gets 4 eggs, no bacon or sausage, but a coffee. Those people got a cup of coffee.
He gets his own carafe.
He gets his own carafe.
4 eggs, a slice of toast, and a carafe of coffee.
Yeah, he does get a slice of toast with it.
Whoops.
What paper is it?
It is the New York Daily News. That fine.
I don't want to have any more pictures of Simon the Vampire.
Yeah.
That was not an ongoing series. There was only one article.
Probably works fine for putting the envelopes in to pass the brine.
So, eventually a couple people do sit at a table. And this is like, another 5 to 10 minutes. And the guy comes out from behind the counter and actually says to them, "What can I get you?" And they order, basically the same kinds of things that other people have been ordering, but they actually have to tell him.
Mm-hmm. So not everybody is such a regular that they just know without asking.
Apparently so. This goes on. It's about 6:30, and you hear somebody come in the back door.
I would suggest that we all
Take a look.
Yeah, move at least far enough to see who's coming in.
There is a door in the doorway between the kitchen and the food area, the dining. It's not really a dining room. I mean, it's.
But there's a kitchen and then there's the room where people are sitting and eating. Might as well call
dining
it
room would be way too fancy. it's
Gotta
not.
call it something.
Dining area?
Dining area. Okay. Yes. So, and it's a swinging door.
Mm-hmm.
Swings both ways. So yeah, you can kind of. I mean, you're hushed, so you can kind of poke your head in and look in there, and it's Ed.
Okay.
I mean, he's tall and he's thin and he's got reddish brown hair and
a big nose.
a big nose. Yes,
And
it's
he's-
definitely the guy who's described to you.
Okay.
Gonna do anything about that?
Yeah,
or-
I'm had my first thought is before he starts washing dishes, have a look at his fingers and around his mouth and also shirt pockets. I'm trying to guess if he's a smoker.
Okay.
Because catching him on his cigarette break might be a convenient way to talk to him out in the alley without anyone else noticing something else.
So,
something is amiss.
You're saying cigarette break like he'd have to leave the room.
Point.
This is
Let's-
1924.
Yeah, I know. He can
He's
smoke
probably
in the
smoking
kitchen.
in the diner.
Okay, still. Let's
All right,
hold.
but you can
Okay.
check him out to see if he
Possibly.
smokes.
Yeah, with
That godlike?
no, just awe-inspiring.
Okay.
because
He is
I-
definitely a smoker.
Okay.
Not a chain smoker because he didn't come in smoking, but he definitely smokes.
Got a pack of cigarettes on him, and fingers
Yes.
are at least a little
Yep.
nicotine stained. Yeah. Okay. Just trying to figure out the quietest way to talk to this guy without other people immediately knowing something out of the ordinary has happened. I'm not sure how best to pull that off.
You really can't think of a way?
Is there a bathroom somewhere?
Well, I mean, there is a room with a toilet in it.
Okay.
Close enough.
So
Yeah,
yeah, I mean, it doesn't have a sink, and yeah, it's got a toilet. That's what- it's off the kitchen. It's pretty obvious that it's not for customers.
Mhm. That would be one possibility. You definitely need to leave the kitchen for a few moments.
Yeah, and well, but it's so small.
Yeah.
I mean, literally one person can fit in there.
Hmm.
I don't care if you're hushed.
Yeah.
He would notice unless you're like standing on top of the toilet.
Which would be difficult for all four.
Yeah,
of us.
and you could not get all four of you in that room at the same time without it being a Marx Brothers movie.
I was actually thinking of when the cook either delivers food out front or goes to the toilet.
We just
spirit
grab
him-
this
we
guy
just
and
spirit him
hustle
out the
him
back
into
door.
the alley. Yeah, that'll work.
Yeah.
Simple. So the next time the cook leaves the kitchen, I'm expecting that
Jack will grab him.
Jack will be the best at grabbing him.
Okay, yeah, that happens like 10 minutes later. I
Okay.
mean, and during that 10 minutes, Ed has been like putting on an apron and a little hat and you know, starting to get ready to wash dishes.
Not
Yeah.
feeling there's any hurry about it because there aren't a huge number of dirty dishes.
No, I
yet.
mean there's not. There's a pile of dishes, but whoopee. I mean he can probably finish those off in a minute. So all right, so yeah, the cook goes out with another order and
Okay, Jack will put it. And then he'll just pick
All
up,
right.
grab.
so what was your fists roll for the hand over the mouth?
Yeah.
I mean, I do get a defense at mediocre, even though I don't know you're there. Yeah, that's not. I'm not. Yeah, you get spin. Wait, no,
No,
that's the other way
overflow.
around. So you get
He
a
gets
lot of
overflow.
overflow. A
Uh-huh.
lot of overflow.
Well,
So yes, you have your hand over his mouth. He can't.
And I wrap my other arm around his torso, catching his arms, and I just pick him up and start walking out the back door.
Okay. So somebody's got to open the door.
Open the door.
Because both of your hands are occupied right
Mhm.
now.
Ed opens the door with his head. No.
with his
That would
feet
make a
might
lot of
work.
sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
I mean, it's a wooden door.
Yeah.
There would be
Yes,
splintering.
one of us could.
But Simon has volunteered to open the door. So you're all out back.
Mhm.
I assume you closed the door again.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that you know
When
the cook doesn't see Ed out there struggling in midair,
yeah.
being held by
No,
nothing.
when the comes back, it's just he's not there.
Yes.
Probably his first guess would be going to the toilet, but
Yeah.
whatever. Doesn't
So-
matter what he guesses. This won't.
You're out there with Ed.
So we're gonna step away from the back of the diner a little bit. You see? So no one can look
Is
out
there
a
a loose
window and see
cobblestone or
us.
something?
I see him.
Trash cans?
There are trash cans. There's not really a loose cobblestone. The alley here is brick, not cobblestone.
Okay.
It's not the 19th century.
Could
It's
do-
the early
Okay.
Do
20th.
something.
Is there a loose
using a
something
trash
that you
can
could-
lid.
I mean, you could probably. I mean, Jack could easily pull up one of the bricks.
Yeah.
Okay. I would say, Ed, I want you to look at that brick right there. I stomp on the
Which-
brick.
What?
I pick up my foot and I stomp on the brick.
Stomp on a brick.
Of the
See, he can't see where you're pointing to. He can feel you holding him.
I
He
tilt them
knows
down.
you're behind him,
I
but
tilt them down.
Hold
they
him
can
so
see.
that his nose is
okay,
near the brick.
I
in
see. I
question.
understand. You're
This brick.
this brick, and
I'm
then you
breaking stealth.
stomp on it. All right.
Yep.
I believe stomping is a fists roll,
And there may be dust left.
which you use might for your fists. So this is going to be
Okay.
ridiculous.
God like busted.
Ridiculous is what we want.
All right.
Like I said, there
Brick
might be
is
some
powder.
dust
You
left.
literally pulverize that brick.
With one stop.
Ah!
Mm,
Okay. All right. So, yes, I mean it's. It makes a noise. It
Yeah.
not silent.
Well,
So,
probably
but it is a
somebody
muffled
working in a
scream.
kitchen
Yeah.
would not notice that noise out in that.
Yeah, if there's somebody out in the alley with you, they would notice it. But yeah, the guy on the other side of that door is not going to hear it.
so Ed, tell me, why? Who?
Now,
asked-
okay, that was your demo roll. Now you have to intimidate him.
Well, you're going to
Yeah.
ask him something. Make an intimidation roll as you ask him that. Because you have done your strength.
Mm-hmm.
So now he's able to be intimidated. Yes. Quite obviously, whatever you want for taken out, he is taken out. I'm not going to even roll. There's no point. There's no way for him, at his mediocre resolve, to not be taken out.
Mediocre resolve in one box.
In one box, yes. He is
Okay.
another fairly obviously one box one.
Well, in that case, he's going to be not going to attack us. He's not going to run away because he's too scared, and he's going to answer all my questions
Okie dokie.
to the best of his ability.
Sure.
So Ed, who asked you to ask the night watchman of the ship near the boat, the Mystery, to keep an eye on it? I'm gonna. Oh, and by the way,
Yeah,
if
we-
you make
we
any
know the
noise,
name of that.
I'll do to you what I did to that brick.
All
I
right,
think my
and that
hand
was
up is-
your intimidation, and you made the roll. It was legendary.
Mhm.
John.
So tell us about John.
Yeah,
John's my
about
boss.
Okay.
that. See the guy in the diner there?
He's working the front counter right now. Yeah.
Hmm. Okay. Any idea who asked John to do that?
No.
Why didn't John ask the watchman?
Well, I mean, what he said was make sure the boat is always being watched.
To you.
To me.
Okay.
So you
So I didn't want to stay up all night watching a boat, and I knew that guy was there. I don't think that ship is supposed to go out of port for another month. So instead of me watching it,
You subcontracted it.
what?
he doesn't know that. Never mind.
I got him to
This
do
one's
it.
real bright.
I mean, I told him I'd sneak a meal out the back
Mhm.
if he would watch it, and he said that's fine. I mean, his job is to watch stuff.
Mhm.
My job is to wash dishes. I don't know why John thought I should be watching a boat.
Probably because.
By the way, John can look out the front window of Mom's Diner and see your boat.
I'm suspecting. I'm not bothering to say this out loud, but I'm suspecting the reason he gave the job to Ed is that he can spare Ed more than he can spare the cook. So send him on various odd little errands.
Note what the GM just said.
Mm-hmm.
John can watch the mystery
Yeah.
as long as the restaurant is open.
Right. Yeah.
So he gets Ed to watch the boat
When it's not open.
when the restaurant is not open.
Mm-hmm.
That's what John would probably be assuming.
Yes.
And Ed was just smart enough to figure, hey, this guy will be there all night anyway.
Once again, this guy doesn't seem to be an idiot, but
Mm-hmm.
he apparently is lazy and doesn't want to stay up all night watching the boat.
I say, we tell him to go back in and get to washing dishes and not say anything about this and talk to the boss.
Yeah, we can do that. And if you do something stupid, like shout out a warning, well, that brick in your head will be very similar.
Okay.
So you go back inside.
Okay.
But before you go back inside, I suppose I should hush us just so we can.
Yep. So it looks like he's coming back in by himself, which will.
Well, actually, you guys are still hushed. You're the only person who made an attack.
Oh yeah, and I can still.
And you don't break stealth when you attack.
Okay.
We could just
You didn't
all-
say that you were unstealthing yourself.
Uh-huh.
Right.
That's yeah. So I mean, you can just sort of
Yeah.
usher him back in.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
We can do that.
So y'all go in as a group, because that way we're all in the same zone.
Yep. All right.
Yeah.
The cook looks over at Ed and says, "Where the hell were you?" "Just outside for a moment. I needed a breath of fresh air," he says very unconvincingly.
Now,
Get to work. And so Ed
since
begins
that was
washing
what we
dishes.
advised him to do too. Yes. Okay. Well.
So there's a waiter's door then, right?
Yep.
Yeah, like I said, there's a door between the kitchen and the dining area. It's a swinging door. It swings either way.
Yeah.
It's not one of those fancy places that has two doors.
Anybody out front eating right now?
Actually, yeah, it's there's at least
busy.
half a dozen people there.
Mm.
There's 4 people at the counter, which is as many as the counter can hold, and there's a table with 2 people. Actually, still the same 2 people who sat down there earlier. It hasn't been that long. It's just been a few minutes.
Right.
But apparently, a couple more people came in and sat at the counter.
Well, do you
Well-
want to wait, or you want to
That is the question. Whether
If
whether
you grab John, there's going to be half a
People
dozen
will
people
notice.
noticing that he's floating out of the room.
or he suddenly disappeared or
Mom's
whatever.
is haunted.
or well, I was thinking that we could have somebody call him to the back, but
Yeah, that's hadn't specifically thought of it at the time, but if he had a phone in his office, we could easily arrange for him to get a phone call.
He does.
Oh well.
Yeah,
Oh well.
phones cost money.
I know.
Not everybody in 1924 has a phone. Not even every business has a phone.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Should we could just knock at the back door, and when the cook opens it, say we need to talk to John.
No.
Or one of us, actually.
Sure.
well, we're in the kitchen.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
we could slip
We wanna
out
get
the
him
back
outside.
door and knock. Yeah.
Now, all I need to do is to get him into the kitchen. Then I can just do it to him. I did to the cook. I mean,
Right.
probably the dishwasher.
However you want to work it.
I was
So,
thinking
what
get
is
him
your
up on the
plan?
line.
Well, let me know.
I was going to say, if somebody's going to knock at the door, it practically has to be edgy.
Why so? I mean, not that I have any problem, but I'm curious as to
Because you're the one of the four of us that we don't know for certain is
Ah.
being watched.
Yes, they
Being
might
watched for.
possibly not even have a description of me. We could do that. For one thing, it'd be interesting to see what happens. Oh,
So we slip out the back door and Edgy knocks on the door.
okay.
All right. You knock on the back door,
And
and Ed comes to the door and
he
opens it.
didn't- He didn't see me earlier because I was
You were
stealth.
you were under hush. Yeah, he didn't see any
Yeah.
of you.
So remember,
So I'll just say
And you've broken hush, so
Yeah.
those
Right.
three are still stealth. And you're
Yeah.
not.
did try. I'm not trying to intimidate him, but I'm sounding grouchy on purpose. Tell your boss somebody needs to talk to him.
What about? He's gonna want to know.
The money he owes.
It works.
The way he does this, it's like this happens a lot. I don't know why you didn't just go to the front door. So anyway, he closes the door, and you hear him just shout from the kitchen, "Boss! There's another guy who wants money at the back door." And then you hear the guy in the
This is
front
giving
yell,
away.
"Well, get out here behind the counter."
Oh,
So-
okay, sure.
So
He buys-
John,
he
John
buys
just
that.
told Ed. John just told Ed to
Maybe
watch
yeah.
the counter.
Sure. Yes.
So yes, a few seconds later, John opens the door.
Grab him and pull him through it right away.
Okie dokie, that's yet another fist attack.
The invisible hand grabs you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh wow, that's awesome.
-3.
Minus
No,
two.
it's only
Only
minus
-2.
2. But I mean, he's starting at average, so
Average down to 4 versus legendary.
yeah, that's
Yeah, gotcha.
that's kind of pathetic. So yes, you very easily grab him. Actually, that was mediocre because he can't see you.
Oh, so it's
Oh.
terrible.
Yeah. Anyway, so
Terrible to legendary. Yes, it is 10.
so
Overflow?
there we go. You grabbed him and pulled him out the door.
I
'Cause
pulled
he,
the door.
he did not. I mean, he just opened the door. He did not go out
Right.
back. And
I
then-
pulled
did
the door
not intend to go out back.
He did not intend to go out back.
I pulled the door shut behind me.
Okie dokie.
That's why I did it for him. I'm just trying to help. So, I just will break
Could
stuff
pick
because
on
then you can't
another-
see me.
yeah.
Can't see me really scare him. So, John, who told you?
He's like looking around for where the voice is coming
No.
from.
He said he broke
Said
stuff.
he broke-
Oh, you broke stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I say so.
Which
tell
I
me.
mean means, which I believe
You're
means
all
of us
suddenly
are
up here.
suddenly up here.
So when I'm
He's
holding
like
him,
very startled.
I'm holding him with one arm and he's in the air.
All right. That's not especially impressive. It's not like you're lifting a train car or something. But yes, you are holding him up in the air. I'm not going to make you make a roll on that. There's no way you could fail.
So. Suppose I have to intimidate him.
Well,
Which means you have to do your.
you can just do a base intimidation or you can do a strength thing and then.
I say, look at that brick. Now I stomp on it.
All right. And what did you get there? Something ridiculous, I'm sure.
Legendary.
Yes, of course.
That will actually.
No, sorry. I forgot the +4 for the inanimate object.
Oh,
It
I
is a
think that's
like
godlike
+2.
object.
Godlike
It's
+2.
yeah, it's you completely pulverized the brick.
Mhm.
So 2 bricks down.
Yeah, there are now 2 bricks that used to be the surface, that are gone.
And probably
Hopefully.
the rest of them are perfectly safe because I don't think
Absolutely.
we have any more people to intimidate in this.
Well, but I was
neighborhood.
also thinking that, you know, it's part of the demonstration of his strength is he's taking out exactly one brick
Mhm.
and not doing anything to the surrounding ones.
Yep.
All right, so your intimidation was
Godlike +2.
so. There's literally no way I can roll high enough to
Not be taken.
not be taken out. Yes,
I rolled really well this time.
that's nice. So what is he?
How is he taken out?
Yes. How do you? Basically the same thing as Ed.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. Fine.
So, who told you to keep an eye on that boat, the mystery?
Gianni.
Who's Gianni?
He's the person that I pay protection money to.
Doesn't happen to have a scar, does he?
No. I mean, you know, not that I've seen.
No,
Not,
obvious.
not like,
We
No.
okay.
we want to know where.
And
he-
and the scar is just here. It doesn't actually go like above the eye.
Not
It's
a
just-
Dr. Doom? Okay.
Yeah. No. No. When they've been indicating it, it's been like that.
So,
So we want to know where Gianni works out of, or if he makes.
where can I find Gianni?
Yeah.
I don't know. He shows up here and you know, he basically threatened me when I opened the restaurant, and said that if I didn't pay him protection, that he would kill me. And he seemed pretty tough. I mean,
How often does he show up?
once a month.
What is he do?
Though when he asked me to look at the boat, it wasn't at his normal day. It's usually he shows up first Monday of the month. That was a Thursday.
It's a while until the first Monday of the next until the next first Monday. It's 3 weeks until the next first Monday.
That's too long.
Did he say when he'd be coming by for any information you got?
He doesn't really. I mean, he's not an explainer.
Right. So it could be tomorrow. It could be this afternoon. It
But
could
I
be
know
next
that
week.
I owe him. You know, I owe him his money the first Monday of next month. He might show up at any time. I don't know.
Well,
I just have to make sure that that boat is watched.
the people who are watching the boat are probably going to make some kind of a report. When is he going to pick up these reports?
He just said he didn't know.
Don't know.
Mm.
He's not an explainer.
Mhm.
He's a, you know, you better have the report when I come back. I don't know when that's going to be, but you know, Ed has to be watching the boat at night, and I'm watching the boat in the day.
Might as well get as much detail as we reasonably can about Gianni, so we we'll know
Yeah.
if we cross paths.
I'll lower him. I'll pull up my pad and my pencil, and I will say, give me a description of this person.
Okie dokie. The guy has brown hair. He's about average height, but a muscular build, olive complexion, brown eyes, sort of a thin face, narrow nose.
I'll start sketching. It's like, look kind of like this, because I got great on my art roll.
Yes, and
Yeah.
you get a very good picture of the guy. The Gianni carries a gun at all times, and the first time I met him, he made sure that I knew that he had a gun.
Why are you working this diner, which used to be, didn't it used to be an Italian joint before?
Yeah, the people who were running it as an Italian joint apparently all left. So, and it was badly damaged, so I got the lease pretty good.
Ah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it was a decent deal.
So you really don't work for Gianni. You're kind of just,
No, he's running protection in this area.
And you don't have any idea who Gianni works for.
As far as I know, he's works for himself.
Okay.
do you know of any businesses for sure around here that are in the same position you are?
No. I mean, I'm pretty sure he doesn't work the docks. But I mean, I don't know. He seems like he probably works the whole neighborhood, I would guess. But I mean, he told me not to talk to anybody about him, and I'm guessing he told everybody else the same thing.
Okay. I'll lower him down to the ground. Well, since you're really not in league with him, I'm just gonna tell you this. Don't.
I do the stuff he tells me to do.
Yeah. Well, just don't tell him about our little visit.
Okay,
You weren't here.
that's
And-
fine.
Otherwise, your head will end up like that brick.
Okay. I hope he runs into you. You're tougher than he is.
Yeah, we hope he does too.
He read my mind.
Okay, were you the one that had contacted the police department?
Yeah, that's what we're gonna go
Yeah,
next.
may not be worth.
No, it's worth it. Going through all the log files. Oh, it's worth it.
Yeah, that's true. I was forgetting. Anybody they've actually booked, they'll have a they'll have a photo, so we can.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good luck with your business.
Thank you.
Police station.
Okay, the local precinct.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
And let's see. It's been
It's a new scene for your network of contacts. Isn't it?
Yes.
It is. In that context, yes. I've been thinking about that. We're going to the precinct house.
Mm-hmm.
and it does make sense that you'd know somebody here in this precinct.
Yeah,
Yeah.
This is the same precinct as the Century Club is in.
Is it also the same precinct as the docks?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
No, it is not. They're considered separate.
The docks are separate, but the diner would be within.
Yes.
Okay.
Diner and Century Club, but
Oh, yeah.
Diner and the Century Club
The,
are the
the
same.
docks are under the Port Authority.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, before they started doing bridges, they actually did the port. So
Yes.
okay.
All right. So you're at the precinct house. Yeah, I mean, you go in, and there's a desk sergeant behind a big desk.
Do we have you've already got somebody on the police force, right? Here.
I didn't have anybody in this precinct. There's a guy I talked to in a earlier adventure.
I think this is
it
trying to say
was-
you go ahead and use your network of contacts.
I'll see if Tommy O'Brien is working,
Okay. And then we got network of contacts.
and he does not have to be independent. Well, not as far as I'm concerned.
Is this going to be for just a scene?
Just the scene.
All right.
So he can have three. He can have three upgrades.
I don't know how that would matter to you, but okay.
Like making
Well,
more use
having his contact high might work.
Well, actually, I was thinking his academics,
Academics,
Just-
so he
yeah.
so we can ask
to
him
keep
about
tra-
geometry.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
keep track of
Academics.
criminals and
All
society.
right.
great thing
you may
about it is
reveal
the
this
name
person, giving them a name and a few brief cues to the GM to base a personality on.
Mm-hmm.
They start at an average and may have, and because this is a one scene contact, three.
Okay, so he's a smart, honest cop.
Yeah, basically.
The kind of cop who got assigned here because he didn't know when to keep
All right.
his
Your
to
three
keep his eyes
advances
shut.
are what?
Let's see.
He starts
He's
out as
skilled.
a one box person with no skills.
Well, he's skilled.
You can have him one skill. You can have one skill at level
Yeah.
for one advance, or he can have two skills at level -1 for one.
Well, level
advance.
-1 if he stays at average is not useful.
Right.
Well, his quality is going to step up.
All right, so quality goes up to fair.
So he's fair.
So now he's got 2 boxes
Mm-hmm.
in both endurance and composure, and anything that he's skilled at level is fair. What the heck?
I think somebody's coming to the door. I don't.
Kind of late at night.
What is this all about?
So you were saying academics,
Positives. Alarms.
but yeah, you could do 2 at -1 and they would be average.
Give him one skilled academics at
So quality,
average, and then another skilled, 2 skills at fair. Athletics
He'll have the
and
same character.
no, he did quality already, so that's one of the advances.
Yes,
Okay,
so
he's got
instead of
3.
Average.
Right. So
quality, 1 skill at quality,
okay,
and then another
then
skill
2
to
at
have
average. You said at fair.
2 at quality -1.
All right. You can do
Okay.
that. Yes.
Quality, he's fair.
Yes.
I need his academics to be at level.
At
Yeah.
level. Okay.
And
So
then
that's
you could
2
give him
advances.
athletics and fists.
Actually, I think I'll have to have him independent.
Okay.
If I use him again, he's got the same characteristics.
No. Weirdly enough, no.
Okay.
He can be. I mean, you could write this all down
Mm-hmm.
and say, I am going to use him in the future. Otherwise, you could just say, another contact shows up. Maybe he's got the same name. Who knows?
Actually, I think.
But you see, if you keep him for the future, then you probably only get 2 advances. So
No,
you-
that's
so you
based
go and
on
see-
the scenes in this adventure.
Yeah.
So
if I
if
don't
next
use-
adventure he can get him for another one
Yeah.
scene.
Yep.
Mhm.
I mean, this adventure has way more than one scene.
Yeah. Do I need Tommy back? Do I need to have Tom? No, I need Tommy to be really smart about the people in the neighborhood.
Mm-hmm.
So
Jump the feet.
no, he's skilled again.
Okay.
So now his. Oh wait.
So he's got what as
What are
skill?
his-
Oh
what are
wait,
his
wait,
skills?
wait. No. He's quality twice and then skilled.
Okay.
So that brings him up.
He's
That
a
makes
good.
him good with good academics.
Okay. So
Okie dokie.
unusually good memory for all the
So
relevant
that
details
basically
of the
means
job.
he's smart. He probably graduated from college.
Mm-hmm.
And boy is he, and boy did he make somebody mad.
Yeah.
No, he became a cop because that's about all an Irishman can do in this town.
No.
If you,
he's
if
a
you want to
college.
write him down, you may
I will.
to use him in the future.
He's a college grad. What is he doing in this dump of a precinct? He
Yeah.
made somebody really mad.
Probably.
Actually, this precinct has some very unusual things happening in it because it's got
The Century,
the Century Club. in it.
Okay. Yeah. So maybe they figured.
So he
a
needs an
smart guy
academics
like him
role.
would be
We're going
less
to ask him
rattled.
about this fella named
All
Johnny.
right, all right. Well, he's not actually at the front desk.
Ah.
Right. But we'll ask it.
We'll ask the desk sergeant if
Yes.
if Tommy
Red
is
Blacks.
available.
Yeah.
Tommy, whatever his last
O'Brien.
name. is.
O'Brien.
Tommy O'Brien
Yep.
is available.
That didn't look good.
No, well, it's about 7 o'clock in the morning.
Hmm.
He doesn't.
He
get
doesn't come in
until-
until 8.
Okay.
No
No
problem.
problem.
We
There's-
can, or we can go away and come back, whichever.
Now I regret not having those eggs.
Well, there's a boat just a couple of blocks from here. Okay, we'll
Got
be back.
better, yeah, you got better breakfast
Time for
there
second
than at
breakfast.
Mom's.
Yes, that is absolutely true.
Gotta find we're gonna, since we're actually somewhat near the Century Club, right?
Yeah, we could just
Yeah.
walk to the
Yeah, we
Century
can walk
Club
to
and
we're
have-
probably
Yeah.
we're probably closer to the Century Club than we are to the
I'm
dock.
getting breakfast at the
Yep.
Century Club. I know you
Sure.
guys.
Yeah,
That's even better than on the boat.
Yeah.
yeah, sounds like a plan.
Okay,
I
even
had
I
a
will
little
have
bit
breakfast.
earlier,
Second
but I
breakfast
can,
at the Century Club.
I could do with more
I can use
coffee
Brucker.
and
Do you want to go out back?
Okay.
Do you want to go out back?
maybe.
Ferris want to go out back?
Yeah, I mean they're used to serving you guys. It's 7 o'clock in the morning. That's the
They're
weird
definitely
thing
good
is they see Simon,
Simon at 7 a.m.
at 7 o'clock in the morning.
They're like checking their watches.
Hey, going no,
Really?
No, they're worried about what's happening next.
They actually specifically ask Simon, "Do you need some coffee, sir?" Because they assume that he's been up all night. That's the only way he's up at 7 in the morning.
And it goes like this.
Certainly, sir.
And they're right.
They are.
So
Because literally, that's the only way they've ever seen him awake at 7 in the morning.
I think once we had to catch an early train. But
The,
we weren't.
the last time I was up at 7 a.m. at the Century Club,
Yeah.
we were passing through. I didn't stop to eat.
Yeah.
Point.
I remember, Karkin had us get up and get down to the submarine at 6 a.m. because he didn't bother to show up till 10.
Mm-hmm. So,
Yeah.
a hearty breakfast is had by all,
Mm-hmm.
except Andy, who's still asleep.
Bring her up to date as soon as we hear from her, or we'll
What
try.
time is Annie going to be getting up?
She usually gets all settled by about 8 a.m.
Yeah, I
She might be up.
Yeah.
She's still enjoying breakfast if she's up.
We'll check with her right after we've talked to. Would he be a lieutenant probably, or just O'Brien?
Just Tommy O'Brien.
Okay, just a regular cop on the beat, except smarter than probably anybody
Smarter
else
than
in the
most,
precinct.
yes.
He's probably the smartest person in that building when he
Yeah.
shows up. Yes.
Yeah.
There's nobody else there who's good at academics.
Anybody happen to watch The Rookie on Sunday?
No.
No.
Okay. It was funny. It had funny bits, I should say. Alan
Often the
Tudyk.
best you can hope
Tudyk.
for.
Alan Tudyk from.
Always good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So breakfast is had. You have a lot of coffee.
Yes.
They're going to make these guys roll in their endurance rooms and a whole night's
No,
sleep.
no. I
Yeah.
mean
It's just one night.
it's just one night. They're gonna be fine, especially with a lot of coffee.
Yep.
But at some point, yes, if they don't go to bed sometime today, those of you who don't have tireless,
I think.
are going to be making endurance rolls. Yeah. Don't try to stay up all day. That's a bad idea. So it's getting close to 8 a.m.
Let's wander on over.
All right.
Simon?
Let me finish my coffee.
So Annie comes down
And sees Simon.
and sees Simon.
Simon. Yeah.
Hi, Annie.
It's 8 a.m.
Now
So
he's buzzing on coffee.
there have been times you've seen Simon at 8 a.m.
Yes.
it's unusual.
You could count on
Um,
one hand and have fingers left over though.
I'm going up to the room and take off this monkey suit.
Okay. I mean,
You also might consider
Yeah.
getting out of your monkey suits.
Yeah, I guess we could. I mean, Paris is in my room.
Yeah.
I mean, so I got clothes there and stuff. I'll be quiet, not to wake her, because it's way too early for her.
I guess Rick would also catch my attention being dressed well. He's like, okay,
Yeah.
what's
actually, the fact that he's still
in a tuxedo?
in a tuxedo, you understand then that he's been up all night. So that's not that
What's happening?
unusual.
Do you want the short form or the long form?
Am I going to be confused horribly? by this?
Probably not, because it's
Then short form's fine.
it's more Jack's thing than my thing.
Okay.
Somebody's keeping an eye on Jack, maybe me, and Rick, or at least on the mystery.
Oh. Okay.
And so far we have 2 Italians involved. We suspect that the second one reports to the first one, but we don't have proof yet. One is colloquially referred to as Scarface, and the other one's Gianni.
Johnny.
Johnny.
Okay.
Which is definitely an Italian name.
Oh, what do we have here?
Well, I guess.
What do we have here?
It looks like you're on your way somewhere. Do you wish me to join you?
Sure.
Sure.
After you've changed?
Unfortunately, my change of clothes is at the brownstone.
Oh.
Well,
But who's gonna find it unusual that I'm dressed up in a tux?
8 o'clock in the morning? Well,
They're going to find it unusual he's moving around at 8
yeah.
in the morning.
I mean,
The fact
okay,
that he's
given
wearing a tux is-
John Q. Laura class,
Yeah.
seeing somebody of my class in a tux, whatever time of day is going to be not all that
I suppose
unexpected.
so. And I am actually going to call it for the night.
Okay. Okay, down you go, kid. I have to write numbers down.
stepped on a tiny call.
Okay, I'm at 44.
And thank you to everybody who watched the stream.